Hello, everybody. We are live once again, and today we have our wonderful brother, Nick, from the Cosmic Twilight channel.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated. It's a pleasure to finally
Welcome.
speak to you. It's a pleasure as always.
Yes, bless, brother. First, it was me who was with belly problems, and now it's you. It was you as well. Bless, brother. Hope you get that sorted.
Yeah, will
Okay, we're
do,
gonna
mate.
put
Will
in
do.
music. And then I'll start straight away with a question and let you talk.
Fantastic. Okay, mate. Sweet. Beautiful.
Is it good, the sound?
A little bit loud. Turn it down slightly, John.
Thank you very much, my brother, for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem at all. It's a pleasure as always. It's yeah, awesome. It's I tell you what, how long you been in the channel for? The Alien Addict.
Okay, so I've known Ollie before Lee was there,
Yeah,
when he was alone, and
mhm,
Goofon was there quite a lot,
that's
and
it. Back in
Steven
the day.
Cambion. So I don't know, maybe like 4 years, five, maybe.
And now I'm here taking it over. I never thought I'll be taking it over as like a actual host of the show because I started back in the day, and I'm going. It's just sort of weird now. It's all settled in. I'm going. This is kind of weird. Like I've got actually bringing forward my information and all that. Never thought it'd happen, but yeah, I seen your face, man, and I've seen your channel out in different channels as well, talking to like ufologies and stuff like that. So yeah, it's so good to actually finally speak to you after so many
Thank you
years.
very much.
Yeah, four,
Nick,
5 years, mate.
usually I go with the flow, so I never had um how can I say, like I always go where people are friendly with me.
Hmm.
So basically, imagine I meet someone and they tell me, "Oh, I've seen this and that. I've had these experiences," and I tell them, "Would you like to be in my channel?" And they say, "Yeah, of course," or "Cool." We try and arrange it,
Mm.
and normal people. And when you when you took over the channel, it was the time when Ollie and Lee went to Spotify.
Yeah.
Uh, my wife does have Spotify on her phone, but I'm one of those guys that I'm a little bit resistant of going to other platforms because I'm already in so many, man. I have like PlayStation app, Discord, Telegram, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp,
Mm.
Messenger, all email, all that stuff. And it's like, it's a little bit of a hassle going too much. And so when you took it over, I was like, damn, Nick is really good. And you were talking about the German things, and I do have German descent. My great grandmother, she she was a daughter, not royalty, but kinda, like
Hmm.
right before royalty.
Yeah.
And she ran away to marry my great grandfather, who was a doctor here in Portugal.
Hmm.
And she ran away, and her father uninherited her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He cut her off completely off the state, and we only got her name, which is Waldman. Okay? So
Yeah.
we got her name, and before he died, the great his her father, he came here to Portugal and visit her, and I think he gave her a watch, and that watch went to my cousin, to my uncle's son.
Hmm.
And so we do have some German descent story. We only got the blood. We didn't
Yeah.
get the richness.
Oh mate, that must have been a wicked watch. I mean, I tell you what, I do love is anything vintage. We'll get to the vintage stuff in a minute, but it's like vintage lighters, like old World War II lighters. I find them absolutely fascinating. The complex design of it, it just looks amazing. Just to operate.
Yeah,
But I love
I
even
do
like the
like war
watches.
stuff.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've got a sort of appreciation for even like both sides, really, like the whole aspect of what makes war. And you can't just look down one avenue; you just got to look down both avenues, isn't it? When you look at it, So,
Yeah,
but
look,
yeah,
look at
brother,
this. Look at this. Look, I'll show you my
you got World
World
War Two
War
goods,
One
gas
mask.
mask.
Yeah,
Wow, is that World War One? You said.
I think so, and it does have the box behind. Look,
Oh
the
wow,
box
look at
here,
that! Wow.
and then it has the tube that goes from here and up there and there. You know what I did? I put sellotape and I stuck it to my light,
Okay,
so it's like a light mask.
it's good, isn't
So
it?
that's
Very
what I
creative.
do. That's what. Yeah, look, I do sell antiques as well. I do sell antiques and military stuff. I do sell very well. Like military boxes and uh,
Yeah.
like shells, as long as they're empty. Old military lighters. I've got a friend who has one, which is like a piece of rope
Yeah,
and
I've
stuff
seen
like
those.
that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
do
it's just
like watches as well. I do have. Look, I wanted actually to tell you, Nick. I'm gonna send you the link of my vintage site of my wife,
okay.
because my wife has a vintage, and she sells, like, we sell books and antiques basically. But I do have more I do have war helmets for 30 bucks, not from me, from a friend, because I sell from other people, and I buy stuff and I invest and I sell it. Because I tell you, man, I don't mess with Bitcoin or anything like that, because antiques, man, they're good, man. It's a good business.
I have to admit,
Like,
anything retro, it's starting to get fashion now. Even like the bookshelf. I was saying to John before the show is that I want to get like an old vintage bookshelf because I
yeah,
need somewhere to
that's
store
not
my
cheap.
books. But it's not cheap. But the one I wanted is like the glass case or something that looks very Victorian. And I have to admit, you are spending a couple £100. But mate, there's an investment
Or
into it, so
more.
I totally understand. It's like like PS1 games I've got here. Silent Hill that I bought 5 years ago for £35 is now worth £150 on eBay
Yes,
because it's been.
yes. Do you know the Parasite Eve?
Yes, that's
You
gone
have
up.
that one?
I'm not too sure, but is that PS1 or PS2?
I think it's one. That
PS1.
game is worth 300 bucks. Okay? Nick, I had a friend of mine that had a PlayStation 1,
Mm.
and he had like uh, 2018 games, and we sold it for good money. And I sold the game separate, and I sold the PlayStation with the fake CD games, because you can fake the games, you know that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I remember back in the day you could do that. Yeah.
So that this PlayStation, it was already with that trick. You could play the fake games,
It was
and
chipped.
you
Yeah.
could also play the good games.
Mm.
So I've
This is
sold
it.
all of that, because that's like, that goes quick. So Nick, if you ever want to sell that, do one thing: go to the collector sites, see the prices they're asking, or investigate for each, because you may have some little treasure there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of treasure, as we go back onto like UFOs and all that,
Yep,
um,
let's go.
because we'll get to where it all started for me. But this is what happened to me the other day. I've got to bring something up because I've got no room to put this. So a friend of mine, I'm not going to say who it is, said, "Oh, I hear you collect like UFO books." Well, my brother used to collect old magazines back in the day, and I thought Hey, how's it going, Company Foods and more? Nice to see you. And he says to me, oh, come round because I've got something to give to you. And I'm like, all right, go on then. You won't believe this. So me and John were talking about vintage stuff and how much magazines cost. Look what was given to me. All that. So I've got, I'm not
Gold.
joking, these are all vintage magazines from the 70s, 80s, 90s, every single
Wow,
UFO magazine
brother.
under the sun until, I mean, put it this way, that's from the 1970s. Look at that.
Oh my God, that's the Adamski picture.
Gdansky ones. Yeah, I've got another one here. And me and John is another one, early 1992 of UFO
That's
magazines.
fake. That's fake.
That's a fake
I'm
one. Yeah, I know,
joking.
right? Even that one as well. Even that one. But nevertheless, I'm sitting on a gold mine here, and these go for like in here in England, over £10 worth, and I've got a
Oh
couple of
my
hundred.
God.
Like, so the guy
So
that
I got
sold,
mine
who,
cheap actually, so I may make some business in a few years.
yeah, I know, right? But I don't think the guy. I think the guy just wanted space, but his aspect of ufology is gone because he was collecting back in the 90s, you see, and early 2000s. So he said, just have these magazines. I'm not interested. So obviously, I'll gladly take it away. But he doesn't realize how much money it really is into this. Even like with books as well. You know, they're not cheap, especially the ones I'm collecting.
No,
But
the
yeah, that was
books I
given.
pay good for them as well. I had to pay like 20 bucks for the Fatima book.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, mate. So that's an investment as well. But if you've got a passion for ufology and the history of ufology, hold on to them, have a collection because, 50 years time, John, probably books would be irrelevant because of AI, the internet expanding, and I like to keep the archive of ufology goes to magazines, books, even like newspaper clippings and stuff like that. I think it's very, very important. Any sort of publications. So. Yeah. I mean, do you want to do
You're
you
a
want to
really
start?
good investigation, brother. Okay, so
Really?
you want me
Thanks.
to ask the question?
Go for it. Fire away. What do you want to
Okay, so
know?
Nick, sorry, brother. I like chatting as well. But
That's cool. That's cool.
either way, my brother, my question we always start is when has everything started? When I mean everything is this interest for UFOs. Okay,
Hmm.
we'll leave it general.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I'm going to blend in UFOs and paranormal together because
Yep.
I mean, me and my family, especially my mum and dad, and I'm pretty sure my mum's probably in chat at the moment. I'm not too sure. But she was and my dad was pretty much into like conspiracies, alternative theories. I mean, I'm talking about like aliens and UFOs and the paranormal was pretty much prevalent throughout the 90s, throughout my childhood. So we had stuff like the X Files that scared the intro music scared me, and what we had Strange but True. And you think the 90s, right? There's a lot of UFO films coming out, Independence Day, Men in Black, you had the X Files, so many stuff going on. And I found that so intriguing. And I can remember back in the like late mid to late 90s, I would actually collect, I've got it right here actually, UFO magazine books. My mum will actually grab something like this. So this is from 1998. So I would have had this back in the day. So I would collect these and read through it to the best I can. But I was also finding like information on like UFOs and UFO sightings and stuff like this. So this is what I started to do, and I did that through late 90s, early 2000s, and then I got out of school and back into music college, and then 2007 hit, and then I started to get an interest into UFOs. Also, at this point,
Awesome.
I was looking into like German UFOs. So I was really basing my research on the internet, John. This is pretty much what I was doing. And then
Yep.
there's what with it. So this is where it all started. This is where my interest came. I was in music college, so I got a degree in music. It's the only degree I got. And I was sat there, and this guy came up. He was doing this like DJ sort of course, and I was doing performing arts, so it was like completely different criteria. But we were talking about UFOs because he was seeing. I was looking at documents and Nick Pope. This is 2007, 2006, 2007. And he says, "Oh, have you heard this strange theory that the Germans built flying saucers?" I'm like, "What? Like, no way, it can't be." So we're on the internet looking at all these photographs. I'm going, "Oh my god, no way!" And the photographs that I've been talking to Death about, and you can see it on Alien Addict and Cosmic Twilight channel, and you can see basically it looks real. I was very young and naive, I have to admit. It's just the build up to where we are leading up to now, because my whole aspect has changed in a lot of UFO cases. I think it's quite important to touch upon. So yeah, that's where it was started. And through the years, I came out of music college. I became a full-time gardener, but I was still researching. But I wanted to know where these stories came from. I thought, right, is there any validity to the photographs? You know, the German flying saucers specifically I'm talking about, you know, they're in the air. There's one of them that's on the ground and all that. I mean, I can bring up some photographs if you want to see.
There's the egg
Um,
one,
yeah,
right?
there's
The
like, there's so many.
Mercury.
So you had obviously the Haunabu and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you a photograph. Could you bring up photographs, John, on here?
Yeah, of course. Okay,
Okay,
let me
right.
see. I need to go here. Invitees. Nick, here you go.
There we go. So this is what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
I'm going to leave it now on.
So this is what I'm talking about. It's photographs like this. It looks so real. This isn't a full photograph. To the side here, where my cursor, there's actually a man holding, touching the top of the flying saucer.
Yeah,
This looks so convincing, and I really wanted to find where these stories came from. Is there any because with the internet, it's all over the place. You only get like bits and pieces of each subject. So I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to start doing is buying publications. All right, I want to find whether or not these photographs are real. I'm just going to come out of that. I'm just going to show you over the years. Yeah.
how they changed.
Yeah, I know. I probably wouldn't be here now because of my parents. When you look at it, it all builds up, leads up to where we are now. But yeah, so it must have been. I met my girlfriend 2012. And that's when I started to buy publications of research to find out where these stories come from. So I'm gonna cover up the bad words and all that the best that I can, because I don't want to strike a channel. But it's stuff like this. I've got some other publications here. I mean, got loads of publications on German flying saucers. There's another one there. I've got to cover up. It's for your sake, John,
Thank you,
because
brother. Thank you.
but yeah, it's like all books like this that I've gone through. And the earliest publication that I've got is from 1950s on German flying saucers. And then eventually, through these publications, I'm reading through like a timeline, the history. I can find out where these stories come from. I think that's really important, John, for any researcher. Where is the information coming from? Who's giving this information? And where is this information coming from? Really crucial, because otherwise it's just trust me, bros. So when someone asks me a question about German flying, so when someone asks me about German flying saucers, I'll be like, right, this is where the date came from. This is where the publication, this is who said it. So at least some sort of source to provide to people. And this is where I get kind of frustrated about the Maria Orsic story. But yeah, as I've gone through over the years, I've got a piece together the timeline, and I was thinking to myself that the Germans did build the flying saucer that was on screen right there. But realistically, if you really think about it, if that technology that they had in 1940 to 1945, well, they perfected it by 1945, and that technology went into America. Why was they researching anti-gravity in the 1950s? For me, there would have been more testimonies from people. Now, in regards of testimonies, yes, there are FBI documents from the 1950s of a flying saucer or disc-shaped craft. But I talk about the first, before anti-gravity flying saucers, there were these flying turbine-driven aircraft. Like, imagine like a helicopter blade spinning, but you basically apply basically like that into a disc-shaped object. And it was using propellers and jet propellers to sort of levitate this craft. So that was the early German flying saucers, which kind of makes more sense that they would made a prototype of this, but went into mass production. So I think maybe some of the testimonies in 1950s were more suggesting that they saw that instead of something that's anti-gravity. But there is one document. There's one document from the 1950s of this farmer in this field. He was a prisoner of war, and he was working on the agricultural farm, and he said he was next to this massive warehouse, right? Okay, so this is his story. It's actually in the document. I think it's in one of the live streams that I talked about on Alien Addict. And he was saying basically he can hear this buzzing noise coming from this like warehouse as he was working on the farm, and then suddenly his tractor stopped, like he couldn't get it started, and eventually he's trying to get the tractor started. Then basically, I think it's like an officer came up to him and said, look, forget about it for the time being. We're going to run some tests and all this. And what he said in this document, that out of this warehouse is the one that had like a flat top of it that can open up. He said he saw this flying saucer rise, and it literally flew over the forest and then out into the distance. Now he said it sounded like electronic motor sound. So that sounds like it's stuff like information like that makes me go, oh, that sounds like a Haunabu, like an anti-gravity type flying saucer. So there are some remnants of that in documentations, but in terms of sort of evidence to really provide, it's kind of really tricky because look, there was a lot of faking going on in ufology,
Yeah, as well.
and I think over the years I've become like such a hardcore believer, and in some ways, yes, I am. But John, listen, brother, we've been talking about this. It's Sadie, nice to see you. Welcome on in. It's nice to see you. And everyone else in chat. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to
Big hug,
piece back
sister.
the memories back when I was a kid. Over the years of looking into ufology, I mean, really hardcore since 2007. One thing that made me go, oh, this is kind of a bit of it made me go a bit skeptical was when Nick Pope came out and said, this is, it's 2006, 2007. There was a YouTube video of him in the MOD looking through UFO cases. And they said that the MOD, the Ministry of Defense, were releasing thousands of documents in regards of UFOs and aliens. And this is where I was looking through on the computer back in music college when that guy came up to me. He saw me looking through the documents and I was reading through them going, well, there's nothing really new. There's no real, I was expecting photographic evidence, mate, photographic evidence. But nevertheless, there's still testimonies. They're still quite important of what people were witnessing in the sky. So I really got to take that into consideration. But there is a there is a rhyme with ufology as you go through the years and everything. So yes, these are stories that were heard before, but nevertheless fascinating. But I was expecting evidence. Okay. Then the newspaper article, I think it was the Times in 2017, stating that the Pentagon officially stated that UFOs were a real thing. And then TTSA came along, and then I can remember that year of 2017. Obviously, Lou Low came out, but it was the guy. Oh my god, it's blank. What's the guy name from TTSA? I forgot his name, John.
From Blink 182.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge, isn't it? Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
He was named Ufologist of the Year, and I was like, hey. Like that made me go, hold on a minute. What the bloody hell? Like, really? Him? He made some like pretty wacky claims and all this, but that was like the turning point. And yeah, I mean, UFO channels were hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. I mean, UFO channels were nothing like they are now, basically. And I started to go into the YouTube side because I was more focusing on research. I mean, yeah, still a vintage book collector. I still collect books and magazines. It's just I find absolutely amazing and interesting, really. But over the years, I started to notice that there's a lot of BS that comes with ufology, and I in one way, the way I come across, especially on Alien Addict, John, is skeptical. But some people say you're open-minded. Look, there are UFOs, there are aliens, and I think there is a connection between aliens and the paranormal. I do believe there is a connection somehow between the two. But you do find there's a lot of I'm not going to name YouTube channels, but they're out there to sort of either if they want to grift or a lot of AI videos. I tell you what, John, now I was looking at a research into it's like a UFO abduction sighting. And there was this pure AI, pure voice generated. Everything was AI about it, about a UFO sighting. And I'm going, oh, but I can't trust this. This is not pure. This. I don't know if this is true. So people come to Alien Addict and they say, okay, well, this guy's got a bunch of book series. At least he's got some publications. So for me, I try to add like a realistic perspective. I'm not denying the UFOs and aliens, but
at least some evidence, some receipts, like we say it, right?
Perfect. That's it. We need some sort of receipts. And for me, I like to go back to sources. So if you pop onto Alien Addicts, which is the show I run every Friday at 9 o'clock every Friday. I was going to go Tuesday as well, but yeah.
I'm going to post it.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant, John. Yeah, cheers. Basically, you will see that I'll go through, try to give you some sources, some, like John says, some receipts to these UFO cases. I mean, I was believing for many years that
give some credence,
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like Billy Meyer, okay, there's a few of them. Okay, Billy Meyer. We also have what you were saying there, John. What are your thoughts on this guy, George Azamsky? and his
Okay,
stories.
so look. My opinion is hard because my opinion is like a mix of a lot of things. But I've known some stories about him, but I've known that he worked with the military
Mm,
in America. So look, I want to try and believe him a little bit, because what happens is many people, they have their first sighting and then the aliens never come back. You know why?
go for it.
Because those people are already tagged by the military, and the aliens, they don't want to get caught. That's my
Hmm.
thought. So what starts happening is they start grifting to keep the money flowing.
Okay.
Because remember, a lot of people say, oh, he just wants to sell his book. But at the same time, the only way you can leave some sort of receipt is with a book,
Mm,
because a book, it could be fictional or not, but if you can say it's a real book and have some out of worldly happenings, so
yeah.
the government doesn't mind about that. It's just going to TV and leaving the government with bad eyes that they don't want. That's my thought, at least.
Oh, that's interesting, man. That's a more positive aspect. I mean, in terms of like people seeing Palladians and Nordics and even like alien greys as well, I'm not dismissive of that. But when it comes to like, for instance, like Billy Meyer, okay, because he's provided the evidence, some of the best evidence ever. When you really look at it in ufology, now we're like 40 years ahead, and we can analyze that. I could go, look, this is basically a flying saucer on a piece of string, really, when you look at it, and the wedding cake photograph, the one that's the
Yeah,
UFO that's parked in front of
that one
his
is
driveway.
definitely fake.
This is so I one way I understand your perspective, that the government's after them, but then it was after that he was providing the time travel photographs. And that made me go, okay, I think this guy is
Yeah,
pretty
it
much.
becomes almost like a cult.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it just kind of go into that sort of aspect, isn't it? But I don't understand why these Palladians haven't come back, or even the Nordics as well, especially through Billy Meyer. But in terms of George Adamski, it's really a tricky one, because he was hitting up the UFO circuits. Well, we're talking about the conferences back in the day, because that's where like me and you
Yeah,
would have been going. If we didn't have the internet and we're doing this now, we'd be collecting magazines and books, not necessarily have the communication, but we go to these conferences and meet up and all that. So in one way, I'm sort of saying that George Adamski is a bit of a grifter, but he was hanging around and making a lot of claims. I mean, in terms, that's a very classic photograph there. There's a video footage of that, but for me, it just kind of looks a bit too fake. And somebody said in
a little
chat,
bit, right?
somebody said in chat on
And the way
Animanic
it
that
moves, did you see on the video the way it moves?
it goes like that, yeah. And somebody said that he put a piece of like string, fishing wire, on a fly, and one of the UFO footage is actually the fly trying to escape, but it's got mate, it's so funny. Like he couldn't make it up. I was like, really? Who would do that? I could talk about it on Friday actually. But it's footage like that. I know it's like 1950s and 60s. It's not the greatest footage, but it doesn't help the case, doesn't it? Really,
No,
it doesn't really help
no.
the case. But I remained open minded. Even with like Benny and Barney Hill, I want to talk about that with Hidden Underbelly, and he doesn't want to talk about it. It's like, well,
Benny Hill, who's the comedian?
no, no. Betty and Barney Hill. These were the
Ah, Betty.
female
Okay,
abductors.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, back in the day. Because the abduction side, that is one side I haven't really gone into. They have, yeah, I would agree with Sadie with that one. The sort of that out of fashion now, like the old typical. I mean, that's sort of right there. That's an old classic flying saucer. I mean, from the like, if you look at like this publication right here, it's got like all the old style UFO photographs. It's, I truly want to believe. I mean, look, it's cool though. It's photographs like this that makes me go. It's kind of nostalgic. because it reminds me of a kid, because I would search out for these photographs. So I do have that sort of positive, nostalgic side of it. But when you look at it, you go, it could potentially be fake. But in terms of what Sadie was saying, that the flying saucers are now that pretty much out of fashion, we don't see them these days. But I do believe they were seeing some sort of flying saucers, especially 40s, 50s, and 60s, for sure.
Yeah, Nick, I can tell you one of the reasons why I believe I kind of know right now, and this may look a little bit cliche, but it's I have one of my best friends in 2012. He was in the balcony of his apartment
Yeah.
with his wife. They were like smoking a cigarette after they went to have dinner out, and when they arrived home, they were smoking cigarettes on the balcony. It was like full moon, and about 20 meters above their heads, two saucers passed them like slowly.
Hmm.
And because he wears glasses, he the light of the moon reflected on the saucer, and he noticed something, and he looked up and he saw two metallic saucers. And I've got the interview on my channel in
Yeah.
Portuguese, and I even asked him to talk in English once, so I have some interviews of him on my UFO interviews or something, the playlist. And look, he gave me the date, the hour. He told me what they've done. He told me like they passed above him. It was like 11 o'clock at night,
Mm.
21st of June of 2012. He told me that he thinks that he was close to getting married, and so they were gonna have kids. So I had a feeling that maybe his first son was conceived that night, but I'm not sure. He didn't
Right.
tell me that, but he
Right.
told me that it was a happy night. He told me that the sighting lasted the length of the cigarette smoking, and they went towards the sea. And
Hmm.
then here the airplanes, they when they come from England, from Europe or America, they usually intersect over in my town, Gaia. So then they land on the airport in the city.
Right.
So one of them followed the airplane because it was going to land. The other one stayed like over the bridge. It's a big bridge we have here, the Arabida Bridge. And then after a little bit, the one that followed the airplane came back, met with the other saucer, and they both went south.
Amazing.
He said he didn't hear any sound at all, and it was 20 meters above his head. So I kind of had the idea that this had to be like he said that the UFO was all metallic, no windows, nothing. It was like just one metal piece, and it
Yeah.
was like two plates, kind of rounded on top and a bit rounded on the bottom, I think.
Right. What year was that,
Um,
John?
2012.
2012. Amazing. Yeah, because these flights, I
He
mean, that's
didn't
a
take
typical.
a photo, nothing. He didn't do anything. He was just, with his wife, and he just. I was a bit weird. Why didn't you do at least a photo or a video or something? As since you've seen it going for 5 minutes, you could have got the camera. And he said,
Mm.
"Look, I was so." I told my wife, "Look, what is that?" And she saw it, and we were like a little bit worried, and we kind of, like they didn't, they weren't frozen, but they wanted to watch it all, like see what.
Yeah. I mean, they was pretty much
Crazy,
enamored
right?
of what they. Yeah, no, that's crazy because there's a few people that had these sort of experiences. They've seen something that's absolutely mind blowing, and for me and you, be like, why do you get a photograph of it? But that's the norm now, isn't it? You expect to get the photograph, but when you're in that sort of situation or scenario, it's like you have like a paranormal sighting. You see something, and you're not. For me, I'm not going to grab a camera out because I'm trying to process what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And for them to see this metallic craft in the sky, that's quite something. So I
I
totally
saw a
understand why people.
UFO last night as well, Nick.
Oh, did you? All right, go on then.
Yeah.
Tell me.
The same as the one I think I've told you on Alien Addict, maybe, or on Hidden. So it's exactly the same place where I saw the same UFO like maybe 2 months ago when I was at I was watching my brother Raymond. My brother Raymond, he's a good friend of the channel. I've known him for like 4 or 5 years. Well, he's like part of the Bigfoot community
Right.
because I've also made part of the Bigfoot community. You know what I mean? Like, because I interview UFOs, many people seen UFOs and have stories in the woods as well,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
Bigfoot, and they believe in Bigfoot. And I also do hikes here in some little woods nearby. Um. Oh my God, I lost what I was gonna say, Nick. What was I saying?
Mate, that is me
Okay,
on a daily basis.
Raymond. So the UFO, what I've seen was it was coming from northwest. So it was coming north, and it was going like, basically, if you think about it, it was going parallel to the Atlantic Ocean, going down.
Yeah, yeah.
But I saw it a little bit like further north, and there's a building. So there's a house, and then the house, a big house, like 2 stories. So, and then there was a little star on the left of the house.
Hmm.
And I've noticed that right behind that star, an orange star was moving slowly, but this star was already from powering on to getting dimmer. So usually the UFOs that I see, they start as a star, but they're moving, okay?
Yeah.
People say
Okay.
they're satellites, but I do sincerely think that satellites, they don't show like this.
Yeah.
So they start as a star moving slowly, and then they start powering up, like becoming a yellow straw, like from a star. The star is usually like a little bit yellow, but white,
Yeah. I hear you.
starts
Yeah.
becoming yellow, becomes orange, but moving parallel to the horizon from north to south.
Hmm.
And when I saw it, I saw it and I was like, damn, is that the same phenomenon I saw a while ago? And when I see it, it's orangey and starting to become weaker and weaker. And then it becomes a star, but it's moving. And I'm like, damn, is that a star? And then I start focusing. And when I focus, the star is moving and it disappears. So
Ah.
have you seen
Okay.
anything like that?
Yes, I have, and I've actually recorded it.
And what do you
So,
think they are?
do you know what, mate? This is a tricky one
It could
because,
be a satellite. It could be a satellite, but
well,
maybe a different one. I don't know.
I'm a bit like you, John. I'm a sky watcher. I like to look at the sky. When we have clear sky days like it is today, I'll be out at night. So especially like dawn, as it gets like darker and darker, I quite like that sort of time period because you get to see the stars quite brightly where I live because all the
Yeah.
lights are off basically. So
And the
it's quite nice.
satellites.
But there's how many satellites are in the sky? Because I did a video on the ISS that flew over, and mate, I tell you what, it looked like a big UFO in the sky. Anyone would have been fooled by it, and it
Yeah.
fooled me.
I think
But
I've
then
seen it once, passing right
yeah,
over me. And Nick, I was in my door smoking, and I jumped to my garden because it was coming in my direction. And I
yeah.
jumped in my garden with my phone in my hand, and I did a video of it. But it was a really crappy phone, and it just was like a little light that was on and off. But
Yeah.
Nick, that dull orange that you try to focus your eyes and you cannot see any structure. You just see like a dull orange. I saw it at 4 a.m. here, like one spring or summer day. I
Yeah.
jumped because I kind of thought it could be a UFO and I wanted it to stop and send the beam down, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I kind of wanted it to be that, and I picked up my phone. I said it's today, and the mother f was the ISS, because the next day a friend of mine told me that he checked it out and it was the ISS.
Yeah, it's
But
easily
it
to
was
track, mate.
beautiful, man. It was
It
beautiful, right?
it is. It's like a big, like if you imagine a star, but like 10 times brighter. But the thing is, there's so many satellites in the sky. And this is what, because I'm a frequent sky watcher, you're going to see balls of light. I've seen a ball of light a couple of weeks ago where it actually changed directions. So I thought, wow, okay, well that's not a satellite. That's something. That's definitely not a comet or meteorite or
No, yeah.
anything else. So that's something. But you've got to keep watching. You got keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's like when you go into like a paranormal haunted location, people expect to see a ghost like that. It's like, no, you need to keep doing it to actually get results. And I'm starting to see results at the moment. Now, in terms of the satellites, there are so many in the sky. I
And
mean,
junk.
loads. Because and junk as well. So I'm trying to differ. I'm trying to look through the satellite, thinking, right, well, I'm seeing a ball of light. It's not on the satellite tracker. So what else could it be? Junk? Could it be something explain? A normal explanation. Sorry, 420 before the show. So, but yeah, I mean, it could be a number of things. So we're trying to break down of what I'm basically seeing in the sky. But I have to admit, I've seen some really weird stuff. Balls of light change directions, but that's definitely not what they
Have
say
you
it is on
seen like
satellite.
orbs near
Orbs,
the
yep, yep.
forest and stuff?
Not really. The closest orb that I've got, if you go to my Rumble channel, Investigate with Nick, you can see an orb literally going through the clouds. Now, going back to what you were saying there, John, with the orb going brighter and smaller, brighter and dimmer. So I've also got that as well on my time lapse video. So I filmed the skies 24/7. Hey, nice to see you, girl. Nice to see you. Welcome on in. So I've got basically
Cherokee.
Cherokee. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce the
Love you,
word
sister.
right.
Thank you very much. Who was the lucky is gonna be probed by an alien? That's what we joke here.
Oh, God, sense of humor, John. That's
It
amazing.
was Sadie. I'm so thankful, Sadie. Okay, so the aliens are positive aliens. Don't worry.
Oh God, I hope
Yes,
not.
it's on double secret probation. Exactly, that's it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, at least they take her out for dinner first, Sadie. That's the main thing. Watch, man.
Nick, you
Oh
need to.
dear.
We need to look. I'm sending blessings so we do catch a damn saucer, man. Because I tell you, I think the saucer is the game changer. You know, like I do.
Mm,
Look, I've told you a story that I was here in my where I was before in the at the window when I was
yeah.
talking with you. I was smoking at the window a cigarette. Okay, so when I say cigarette, it may be 420 or cigarette. Okay, one of them. And I was smoking, and Nick, it's like I can see the ceiling of my window, and there's like uh, uh my tree, which is parsimon. You know parsimon?
I've
I
heard
have
of
a
it.
huge tree here, and I've been harvesting every day a little bit.
Okay.
So I could see the branch, and on top I could see the ceiling, and between there was a night sky, beautiful sunny, beautiful summer night sky. And Nick, I'll promise you this: I looked at the night sky and I said, "Imagine if something appeared." Okay, so I
Okay.
had that thought, and a star appeared. Okay, Nick, it was no snow clouds, a summer night, so no wind. So, there's a theory is what I thought it could be, but
Hmm.
a star appeared, and the same UFO I just explained to you. So these seem to be the UFOs. Either they're following me or they're very common, because those are the ones that I kind of don't have an explanation.
Hmm.
They could be a satellite, like a better one, or because they start as a light. Because I've seen the Russian satellites, which they are like they blink and then they disappear, and then further ahead they blink again.
Okay.
So those are the Russian ones. And when I see a blinking one, people like Amy says that the UFOs blink at us, and I kind of starting to believe that. But you have to make sure it's not a Russian. They blink, and then what you have to do is zoom out with your
Hmm.
eyes and see if they blink north or south, wherever, because where they blink next, they're going to blink further ahead afterwards, okay? So they're
Oh,
kind of
okay.
turning around, tumbling,
Yeah.
and so sometimes they blink towards you and you see the reflection of the sun, and then they blink a little bit ahead. But if you only see once, you need to know where they're going, so you have to kind of look for them. Then
Okay.
you have the American ones, the Tesla, the Elon Musk. They can go. I never seen the Tesla ones. And then you have the normal ones, which is just a star, and they go. And then you have another star that goes as a star, and then they blink out further ahead.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I've got.
those are the
Yeah.
ones I know. You know,
Okay.
I don't know more.
Because through my time lapse video on my Rumble channel, that I basically film the skies
Do you
24/7.
want to show a few videos of yours?
I can bring one up. Yeah. Let's have a little look
A
because
little
there was.
short, anything.
Let's have a little look because it might be a bit difficult to actually observe and what's in the sky. I tell you what, bring up here. So I also
Hoax,
filmed this.
what's up?
Hey, Hoax, nice to see you. Welcome on in. So yeah, John, this is the link right here. It should be
Do you want to
working
do the
fine.
link or do you want to? Okay, here it is. We're there now.
Got it?
It's on stage. You're on stage now.
Okay. Fantastic. Right. So if you go to Investigate with Nick, this is my other channel on Rumble, and I film the skies 24/7. I literally is all to do with those trails in the sky, but that's a whole different topic. But I like to find what's in the sky. I need to see what's in the night sky 24/7. So I've got a 4K camera, which is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 out there. And
Wow. Like one of
yeah,
those security cameras? No.
no, it's an action camera, but it shoots at like amazing quality. It's a £400 camera, so it's weatherproof and all that. And that's been filming
Wow,
24/7 since the beginning of the
nice.
year. This is going to be a bit tricky for people to see. Hold on, I know.
People can always go to your channel. I put your channel on the description already. Your
That's
Cosmic Twilight
that's it.
on YouTube. And I've just put on the chat your Investigate with Nick on Rumble. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. That's much appreciated. So if you pop onto there, you can see I film the skies 24/7, and basically what me and John have been describing, seeing these balls of light, sort of fade in, fade out, some blink on and off, and all that. This is going to be really tricky for people to see, but it gives me a chance to actually change the settings to make it more brighter for the sky. But you will see meteorites and things in
Oh,
space for sure.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I do
Uh,
see those occasionally, like when I'm lucky, more than that.
that's it. Yeah.
I'm gonna start going to my hikes at night soon, when it gets cooler because
Okay.
of the mosquitoes.
Oh, you get problems with that in
There's a
Portugal?
lot of mosquitoes here. Yeah.
Oh, right. Bloody hell. Do you know what? I tell you what, if I've got something else a bit more brighter I can show. It's a really tricky one, guys, for this one because
You
it's you
can
can't
turn on the
really.
brightness, guys.
Yeah, I
It
might just do
becomes
that for
better.
me. But yeah, I understand what John is saying in terms of what you're seeing in the sky. But it's those days where you see the balls of light changing different direction. I guess it's like a Chris Bledsoe movement. I guess you could say a name is a
Yeah.
bit controversial in ufology, but nevertheless, it's. I just find it interesting. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a really. I'm what you call introvert. I don't really socialize. I don't like built up places. I don't like crowds of
Me
people.
neither. Me
I rather
neither.
keep I rather keep to
We have
myself
a
and do
lot in
research.
common, brother.
I've always
Like
been like
even the
that, mate.
DJ thing. When I was in England, I met a friend. He was a DJ with vinyls. He was Portuguese, and I used to go there, and he taught me how to DJ.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a bit of creativity, isn't it? As it starts,
And
sorry,
his
going back
girlfriend
now.
was from the art school. I remember. Her
Ah,
name is Inez. It's a good friend of mine. I even met her when she came here back to Portugal in the summer. We went to a summer festival in Algarve.
nice.
Crazy times, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, that's just me, really. People say to me, "What do you do for pastime?" Well, I exercise a lot, but I mostly research. Research for the show. I just don't. I mean, socializing, that's more like my boot camp sort of stuff, really. But
That's time lapse, Carlos, I think.
yeah, it's for time lapse. Yeah, time lapse videos. I guess. Yeah, that is time lapse videos. Yeah, you just speed it up, so it's not. It's basically 24 hours restricted to like 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So you speed up the footage so you can see all the clouds moving like in fast time. So in one regards, it's kind of difficult to see a UFO unless you're literally watching the camera 24/7, and that's. But if you've got a bit of time to watch the skies, I guarantee at some point you will going to find something. But there's something that might be explained. Like a balloon, which is an easy one. I've done that in the past. Even like weather balloons and stuff like that. But it's fun. I get enjoyment out of it. That's why I'm a
Did you
recluse,
see
mate.
the one I
No.
sent you yesterday?
Yeah, that was good, mate. That was
The
really good.
Alfina. That's like 40 kilometers from here.
Amazing.
And they shown one of those meteorological balloons at the end, but the meteorological balloons, they don't uh, go over the walls and then go back
Yeah.
down. And then when kids
Yeah.
start throwing rocks, they start going vertically up.
I know, man. It's footage
That
like
was
that.
funny, man. That
Yeah.
was
I mean,
crazy.
in terms of like footage these days, I mean, if we keep in mind, the flying saucers back in the day, what Sadie was talking about, we've moved away from that because now it's more severes, balls of light, or
Technology,
TikTok.
IR, light, infrared, that's the way which you can doctor it, you can
Exactly, yeah. But where's the
mess with it a little
extraterrestrial?
bit.
But where's the extraterrestrial route of this? I'm finding now current day ufology. It's more the government has technology, advanced technology, but whether or not that's actually extraterrestrial. But now it seems to be extraterrestrials are only spiritual interdimensional beings. It's like, yeah, but we're dealing with nuts and bolts craft here. Do you understand? So where's that aspect? Because people are saying, well, these flying saucers are actually spiritual interdimensional beings. They're just actually morphing themselves from plasma balls into an actual craft itself. And for me, that doesn't
Yeah.
really make any sense. But
Nick, that's one of my that's did you know Dolly Saffron? Have you heard of her?
no, I haven't. No.
Okay, so Dolly Saffron, she's like she's got a book, she says she pilots UFOs. She does a show with Preston Dennett. You must know Preston.
Yes. Yes.
He's a
Yeah.
very good investigator.
Hmm.
So they do a show together on Mondays, and she's got a few claims. Okay, she
Yeah.
says that she's on the UFO at the Turkish UFO.
Oh right, yeah, yeah. The Hugsburg thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hugsburg
that guy
UFO.
who had like a freaking good camera, like a 30 grand or 50 grand camera.
Yeah.
That she says that she's inside that craft. She almost divulged that that was the craft that she pilots,
Right. Okay.
but on the picture where the guy zooms in, they get two like alien heads, those two,
I'm familiar.
well, blobs kind of
Yeah.
on the right of them, or I think in between on one on the other lower down. She says that she's sitting down and you can see a little bit of her shoulder. So I'm look,
Okay.
it's a little bit too much, I know, but
Yeah.
she's got some other videos of the craft, and
Is it the same
Nick,
craft
I've
though?
she says it's the same craft as that one there.
Okay.
And then there's a show that she starts explaining that those orbs that you see inside, those lights that you see, those are like real orbs that the craft releases from one of the ends.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
the orbs, they, the Adamski photo,
Yeah.
those three balls underneath, he says they are the orbs as well.
Interesting.
So I've got that through actually I got that through Casper's site when he did a deep dive, because I've heard from Stephen Cambian straight away that Adamski was like a fake, but I want to investigate my investigation, so I don't want to use other people's.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
That's
this
why
is
I
it.
kind of
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got
prefer
their own
I kind
type.
of giving him a chance.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, for me, is we're all divided now in ufology. It's the believers against the skeptics, skeptics against the debunkers. Everyone's split apart into
Yeah,
different categories. It's like pick a lane, pick a category. And for me, I go, well, I'll make my own decision on this. I'll do my own research. See, as a researcher of German flying saucers, like it's one of the most wackiest claims in terms of like ufology out there, evidence, blueprints, and stuff like that. So I'm quite familiar with that sort of aspect. So I would say I'm aware of ufology and the terms and conditions behind it, basically. And I forgot my train of thought, mate. I forgot I was going to go with that. It's just completely gone.
look,
um,
man, there's a lot of stuff, right? Ufology, you can go anywhere, like the big personalities, chronologically,
sure, sure.
the grifters, which they all grab on to people who they think are real experiences,
Hmm,
so they
hmm.
kind of rub the good parts on each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about. Like everyone's divided, and I just find this community could be quite very toxic some days. It's like
Yeah.
you know
Whitley Strieber,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly, exactly. So I think the point I want to get across is that you do your own research. It's good for me, you and John, and the people in chat is to do your own do your own research and make your own conclusion. And don't be afraid to say, actually, no, I don't agree with this because such and such. Because everyone's kind of afraid. And I was very afraid to sort of speak my mind about ufology. And like me and you were saying, or what you were saying before the show, John, 95% of ufology is BS. It really is. There's a lot of that nonsense talk out there. And if
And
you
the
read through
lights
the
in the
public,
sky as well.
exactly, this is it. So when you read through these publications of books and magazines that I've got here, nothing's changed really. Nothing has really changed. We're still, like I said, ufology is a business, is entertainment, is industry. And I think there's a really important keys aspects that people have to realize. When you're new into ufology, John, you know what it's like when you're first into it. It's exciting, it's new. You got the
Yeah,
hands of social media now. So you film something in the sky going, oh my God, what is this? And then someone comes along and says, well, actually, mate, it's just probably just the ISS. They get their feelings hurt and all that. So they pick a lane, which means picking for instance, like a Facebook site to get other people to solidify basically what you're saying is actually an extraterrestrial. Because people don't really do research, that's one thing I've noticed. It's like pick a
yeah.
lane, pick a
That's
side.
how I started. Like, do you know the Rich Goof tapes?
Rich Goofon, yeah, I know Rich from Goofon. Yeah, I
Yeah,
listen
but
to him every day.
he's got like a big collection of tapes that he's done of lights in the sky. He calls
Oh,
it his evidence. And when I met him, it was like the tapes, they're from the 90s, so they're a bit old, but they're not explained. I couldn't explain that. Do you know
yeah.
Steve Willis as well?
No, I haven't, mate. No, who's he?
He's like from Miami, and he also does hunting, sky watching. His name is Steve Willis. So I've known quite a lot. Let me just finish something quickly, Nick. Remember when I
Yeah.
told you that story about the room in my room
Mhm.
where the star appeared? It powered up. It took like 20 seconds, maybe 10, 15. It powered up very strong, not moving, and then it started dimming, 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 became
Yeah.
like orange, then it dimmed to that yellowish, became a star, and it disappeared. Half an hour later, I won $50 on YouTube on one of those like not polls, like giveaways.
Yeah.
And Nick, there were 33 people on that giveaway, and I was watching the show since the beginning, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to play this. I never win anything."
Hmm.
And then I was thinking all that during the day because he posted the thumbnail in the morning or lunchtime, and I was like, "I'm not gonna play the game. I never win." I saw the UFO, and the show started, and I clicked the name that he wanted us to write, and then I
Hmm.
wrote afterwards, "The aliens made me do it."
Nice.
Why, Nick? Because after I saw that UFO,
Yeah.
I called my wife and I said, "Look, I just seen a UFO. I think I'm going to play the game after all." And I played it and I won it. So it was funny, a funny story. It doesn't prove anything,
Well,
but
they
it
say this.
kind of made me change my mind, and I won $50 out of that. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, people say that there's no such thing as coincidences anymore. To be honest, I mean, I've seen personally like an orb in like literally in a room. It's only happened twice in my lifetime. I've seen it. Big, bright, orangey, golden orb, literally big. I mean, huge. Literally go across and then fade out. I've seen that, and
Wow, man.
one of them was in college.
That is freaking awesome, man. I
It,
never
it, it was
seen
weird.
anything like that.
One
Like the
time it was in
sun, it looked
college,
like the sun,
just like the
sun
sun, like a
setting.
big, yeah, like a big ball of light, like a big, like a golden ball. It's like huge, like it's like a basketball size. Literally appear and fade. It lasted about 2 seconds. It's only happened twice, and I never really questioned that. It was just weird because I do believe there is a connection between the paranormal and the extraterrestrial realm. I think there is a spiritual entity sort of realm. I think they're both connected. I know it sounds quite
Yep.
wacky, but put it this way, John. We see balls of light, plasma orbs, or orbs up in the sky, but we also see it in photographs in haunted locations. There's a connection there. They're both the same. And someone would say, "Oh, you're just taking pictures of raindrops or dust and all that." Like, yeah, but if you look really into these, I've taken pictures of like raindrops and they got a specific look. But the ones I've caught, like these big orbs, are very bright, and the inside it looks very contextualized and everything. It looks quite strange. And one of them have got a face,
Translucid as well, right?
translucent. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. And one of them's got I got
Like
an orb with a face
John's
in it.
UFOs from Florida, the big
Yeah, yeah,
one. You know,
exactly,
the big one.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's because he captured those like huge ones. There was one actually like, near a tree, wasn't there? It's quite incredible. It was not long ago. He
Like
sent me it on.
Tinkerbell is a small one, but there's like a huge one that it moves like it's like a balloon, like a meteorological balloon, but translucid. You
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
it
yeah.
crossing the laser. It's weird. I never seen anything like that here. Like that must be like from a characteristic from Florida or something. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if it's someone's consciousness state, the way they state, because sometimes in paranormal locations you just get that feeling. For me, it's like I'm not being like say judge a book by the cover or anything like that, but for me, being a recluse, when I see people or in a location, hey, that's experimental. Nice to see you. When I'm in any sort of
He's my
location, I tend to
sister from
observe.
Glastonbury.
All right, nice to see you from Glastonbury. Not too far from me. That's awesome. So for me, it's I always pick up the vibe from a place or a feeling from somebody. I just get that sort of vibe from them, and it's not judging the book by the cover. It's just I just get that feeling, and I guess it's like going to like haunted locations as well. I mean, it just get that sort of feeling, and I think it puts your state in that sort of. I mean, what experimental was saying there, the realm sort of aspect. Hey Daisy, nice to see you. I think that. So I think people who are psychic, they're more inclined or more in tuned with this sort of realm
and attracted as well, right?
Attracted, exactly. Yeah, you attract these beings, and I guess it's down to sort of if you're on a ley line or down to the person. I mean, for instance, if you ever come to England, if you go to Glastonbury or Avebury, I get headaches there. So have you heard of Avebury before? So Avebury is these massive stone circles. Is like the humongous stones. They're huge, and it's all in a massive circle. Now I've been there twice,
It's
and every time I've been there,
the second,
Stonehenge.
what's it? Yes, right?
Yes. Basically,
Okay.
the energy in that, John, is magnificent. If you walk around the stone circles, it's like a healing sort of process. But for me, I get headaches, piercing headaches, if I'm there for like over a couple of hours. It's the same with Glastonbury's got a very strange feel to it. It's probably on the ley line, but I can
Interesting.
pick that up like that. It's like, oh, it's got this vibe to it. Yeah, very, very strange vibe. So there are places like that. And if you're in that sort of realm, in tuned into the spiritual realm, I think you can summon, I mean, basically Wiltshire is basically where Avebury and Stonehenge is, and this is where we get a lot of crop circles. That is like the home. Yeah, Sadie, this is
Of the
Avebury
grip circles, right?
crop circles. Yeah, it's basically that sort of area. So it's on that ley line. But I tell you what, the energy field is magnificent there. But for me, you've got a lovely pub next to it, you get some fish and chips. But once I'm at that stone circle, in fact, I've got some dowsing rods. I used to every time I do dowsing, it spins like a flipping helicopter, and I'm keeping like my hands really still. I know because I was so skeptical, John, and it was like a group of us that went there, and oh, is it? Oh, really? Okay, it's not just me then. But yeah, it's almost like a migraine if I'm there for a long period of time. So we had these dowsing rods, and I swear to God, like, we hit the spot where it actually turns, crosses like that. And for me, when I hold it, it spins like a helicopter, and I'm holding it still. I'm making sure I'm not having any body movements and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just one of these people that picks it up. I think this is why I'm a bit of a recluse. That I don't like festivals. I don't like built up places. I mean, conferences. I mean, like conspiracies and like
Yeah,
truth
look,
movement,
you
and
want
even
to go to Contact in the desert. It's gonna be crowded, brother.
yeah, I've heard about that. I think that's my plan for in the spring if I get the funds together.
But
I
you can
don't like
always
plane
stay
rides,
in the
John.
pool, you can stay near the pool and, you
I
know,
guess so, but it's a lot of money these days, mate. It's hey
yeah.
Gate Smasher, nice to
Look,
see
I
you.
had a friend of mine. I had a friend of mine that went this year to the conference. I don't know if you've heard of Walter Bosley before.
Yes, I heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know a friend. So I know a friend that knows Walter very well, and they were Walter went there to talk, and my friend he was able to go there. But look, it was so controlled. Like you couldn't do lives anywhere. They wouldn't allow you. You needed like a special permission to do the live streaming and stuff. So
Mm.
and they had jammers there as well. So it was a
Jammers
bit
there.
jammers like for other people, like not to use the phones and stuff. It was like crazy.
Is that some Contact in the Desert? Yeah.
Yeah. But it was
Really?
good. I've seen some good. I
Okay.
even Bledsoe. I think he was summoning some UFOs.
Some planes. Sorry,
But
John.
it
I had
was
to
it
throw that
was
in there.
some it was cloudy, so they didn't catch very well the UFO.
I see. Or the plane. I don't know. I heard what's her name? Katie, is it Katie Brooke or something like that on Twitter? I can't remember her YouTube channel name or podcast, but she went to Chris Bledsoe's experiment in Contact in the Desert that happened this
Katie
year.
Page from
Yeah, I
MUFON.
think so. No, it's she's got a podcast. She's my not is it My Rabbit Hole podcast?
Okay, I think I've heard of it. I
Yeah.
don't follow, but I think I may heard of that.
I think I showed the clip on Alien Addict, but she said she went to Contact in the Desert. It was sometime
Yeah,
in spring this year. She went to the Chris Bledsoe event, so where he was summoning UFOs.
yeah.
Mate, this is what she said, right? So, they saw like this ball of light coming into the distance and coming towards them, and Chris goes, "Oh, there it is." In a sort of accent that he has. But the thing was blinking, and then she was going, "Oh, that," and everyone was going, "No, that's a plane." And then he goes, "No, no, no, it's not a plane." And everyone's going, "Yeah, I think it is a plane, Chris." But then he said, "If you believe it's a plane, it will become a plane." And then that's why she just picked up a towel and left. I'm like, she was like, it's because of comments like that, you know. It, it doesn't really help ufology that much in terms of like evidence, you know, because I'm seeing the same things. I don't think I'm summoning these orbs or anything like that, you know. I don't know about Chris. I keep him at arm's length, and when I need to dab into it, I'll have a little
Yeah,
look to see what he comes across. But I try not to bash these people unless they're Ross Coulthard. It's a different thing. But
exactly, exactly. Look, if they're like blatantly trying to lie and make money, like a paywall and stuff like that, that
yeah,
doesn't go very, very well. But you know, if you think about it, they all have a little bit of a piece of ufology in their hands, and they think they own the truth a little bit, and you know, they want to keep living with through it, you know. So
because like I said, it's ufology is an industry, is a business, and I mean Nick Pope. You know, a lot of people would bash him, but he is all over the place in these magazines. He's every single magazine I've got. He's in there, so he's been doing it for a long period of time, mate. He's hitting the conferences. He's in Ancient Aliens. It's an industry, it's a business, and it's
all
always been
over.
like that. It's always been like that, mate. But we can have fun nevertheless. We with Alien
Exactly
Addict, you
right.
know, we shift through the nonsense and says, well, actually, I didn't agree with this because he said this in the past, or he put something forward in the past that made him look like an idiot. But we need to look at those flaws in these people because, like you said, you know, A Raspberry, nice to see you. It's, you know, 95% of ufology is absolute nonsense. And it's when you've been in it for a long period of time, you can sift through it, but don't be afraid to say it. You know, it's just the truth. You know, but you know it's like John. You know it's like
Yeah. Look, it like I say, it can become depressing,
it
but we
can.
have
Yeah,
to have fun with it so it doesn't become, because it hurts being lied to a lot, you know, and stuff like that.
it does. Yeah, that's a very good point, John. Yeah, it does. And you just want some honesty. You know, at least in this field anyway. And at the moment, you know, in
Goes a
terms of
long way,
transparency,
right?
it goes a long way. I mean, look at. I mean, we were promised so much in terms of disclosure this year. You know, a file was being released and nothing's really come about that. So I think people sort of on their down low, really thinking, well, have we got any disclosure coming? I mean, that's a dead entity now, isn't it? That word, disclosure. I mean, we're never going to have disclosure at this point. You know, it's just like accept facts. You know, I mean, tell you what I like to do now, because I don't, for the people that popped in new into chat, I've got a bunch of like, I've been given like a bunch of magazines here, like loads of them. So what I quite like to do for Alien Addict is probably on a Tuesday is we'll pick up a book. For instance, this magazine here from October of 1998. We'll go through it and see what they were saying back then compared to what it is now.
Yeah,
Because we'll go. I'll take the pictures of the pages. I'll get an AI voice to talk and
beautiful,
all that,
brother.
and let's see what they were saying
Beautiful.
back then compared to what we are now. And I think that's something quite interesting, you know, because listen, guys, everything's the same, really. Nothing's really changed, but in terms of what we were seeing in the sky, let's look for it. Let's try to see what was happening back in the 90s. In fact, we're getting a lot more better footage in the 90s compared to what it is now. But the thing is, one thing we need to take into consideration is that the fact of AI is now prolific in UFO sightings now, or fake UFO sightings, I should say. And John, if you're a content creator like me and you look for UFO sightings, it's like 99% of everything's just CGI. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating. 95% of AI
Yeah, the
stuff.
new stuff, but the old stuff, it's good because it's harder to fake, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the old school way, or as one would say. So, yeah, but
The
like I said, we can
Kodak.
have fun with it. Yeah, the Kodak days. Yeah, the Fuji days. Yeah, that's coming back in
Nick,
fashion now, actually.
tell us a little bit about your story with the shadows
Oh
that
yes.
you had.
So basically, where I live, we have a hallway here, and me and the missus always says, "Oh, can you see something like dart across, or we see something in the corner of your eye?" And I kind of ignored it until my missus started to say the same thing. I'm going, "All right, okay, there's something going on here." Now, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I've had a few shamanic experiences in this place, and I'm talking about Super Mario mushrooms, as one would say. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So I've had those experiences, and for me, when I'm in that realm, I can see it, but I don't communicate with it. I never, because it once I get triggered, it kind of ruins the trip for me. If I get scared or anything like that, because I know what it's like. It's kind of, you got to be in that right frame of
Oh,
mind
so
to
you
do
kind
this
of
sort of
need
stuff.
to ignore it in a way.
In a way, yes, but for me, I think I've summoned it. In terms, I've given basically, John, I've given it permission to come here, because it's only until
Yeah.
after the trips I've been having, it's like, oh,
And is
okay,
it
I've
green?
actually
Is it green?
no black, jet black,
Ah, okay.
but I
Because
don't
I
feel
know about the
threatened.
green alien that appears usually with mushrooms or the that Mexican
Yeah, the
aloe vera
DMT
stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not quite there yet, mate. I don't want to be there. That'd be awesome if I saw that. But no, in terms of, I think I've more or less given it permission to sort of come into the hallway, so to speak. I mean, sometimes in the bedroom, it's kind of rare, but I like to do a live stream on it. But I've always asked myself question. I always ask that question to myself: did I give it permission to actually
Or
come?
was it already from the house?
This
Maybe.
is it. This is it, because that goes with haunted locations. It's something that's previously happened, a murder or an accident or something like that, or just stuck in that sort of timeline zone. So it's kind,
I have
it's a tricky
some
one, mate.
black shadow stories from friends of mine, many friends of mine. I've had like maybe 10 stories. One of them, the girl, she was a young girl walking on the sidewalk walk with her mother,
Yeah, yeah,
and she saw a man dressed in black walking towards her,
yeah,
and it didn't deviate, it crossed her. And as she noticed that it was crossing, she kind of like became like scared.
hmm,
And when he crossed her, she looked back, and he was wearing like a black hat, black suit. It was all black, the face, you couldn't see anything. And it
yeah,
looked back to her, like down and back to her, like turned around and looked at her. And
yeah.
she even noticed that it kind of smiled or something.
Oh, that's crazy.
And she told her mother, but her mother was like, "What are you talking about?"
I
Stuff
tell
like
you
that.
what, me and Hidden Underbelly, we did a show on Black Shadows, and I think we're going to be doing a live show on Halloween. I think on, yeah, it's like near the end of the month. I want to bring that topic back up because there's something there. That Black Shadow that you're talking about. There's even one with a bloody flap cap,
And they appear
and
in children a lot. Isn't what? How you were that age now, right? When you saw it, or how many years ago was it?
oh, the Black Shadow.
Yeah,
Oh, that was about
in your house.
oh no, it's about 3 years ago. Still see
Okay,
it now. Yeah, it's a
you're
current
still
place that I'm
there.
living
Yeah.
in now. Yeah, yeah, it's current place I'm living at now. Yeah, there's something there. But I
You
just
never checked it out, or never, and no one
I
ever went there. You never asked anyone.
no, I try not to. I don't want to ramp up the activity, so to speak.
Yeah,
I'm
I
very
know.
I'm very fragile minded as it is.
Yeah,
Somewhere
I
to
know
stay
what you mean.
sensitive.
You don't want to mess with it. Yeah, just leave it be. Yeah.
Yeah, just leave it be. If I'm in the right
But you think you
same,
summoned it with the mushrooms? You think that?
because there's some places where it takes you and it literally puts you in a realm. I'm not joking. There's one experience. It felt like the hand of God, and I'm 50-50 with God. I'm open minded, but it felt like a massive like all power. I can't explain it, mate. It was like there's like it was like the hand of God reached down. I couldn't even stand up. I was like literally crawling because my my missus goes, "Oh, could you plug the PlayStation? No, could you plug the swap the PlayStation cable to the Xbox cable?" And I'm like, "All right, I do it." So I'm on the floor having a spiritual awakening. I'm trying to switch these cables around, and I'm going, "Oh God!" I just like it feels like the hand of God reaching into me and ripping my soul out. Whilst I'm trying to swap these cables around, so it's like two cables. She could have done it herself, but I think once I was in that realm, I can't explain it, mate. Until you've had those experiences, it puts you in
I
a
think
different
it
realm.
takes your energy from your body and it concentrates it in the head, right? In the
Yeah, because
because you cannot move much and
no
your
pain.
body's kind of frail, right?
Yeah, you have no pain for me. If you take a specific amount to be in that sort of consciousness state, but it will flip you from being a consciousness state, like I'm speaking to you now, into that sort of outer realm experience. And you got to really prepare with these sort of experiences. I haven't done it in a number of years, is because it can get a bit out of hand, mate. Just don't abuse it. Treat it as an experience, and you're going to have that experience, and not just because, oh, I got free time on this Saturday, so I'm going to take this because it's going to make me, I'm going to get high, man. It's like, no, you need to prepare yourself and say, right, okay, what experience I'm looking to get. It might not be the experience I'm going to get, but I just have to go with the flow, because as soon as you start panicking, your trip's ruined. And I have some awful, awful trips. But yeah, you are
Yeah.
right. It pushes you in that realm, mate. It does push you in that realm. So there's something there. It pushes you into that paranormal realm, but I do believe in the extraterrestrial realm as well. And it's still there to be explored. I mean, you know me. You know me with Graham Hancock. I'm his gardener by trade. So I've
He's
spoken to
good. I
him.
like him. I like him. I'm.
We can.
I'm. I know Brian Forrester. You know Brian Forrester.
Oh yeah. No, Brian. Yeah.
He's the
Is there
one
an?
I've been following for the longest. But I know Hancock as well. But
Yeah,
Hancock doesn't tell me anything new that Forrester didn't tell before.
for sure. Yeah. I
Maybe he's
mean,
been on other places, but it's
I
similar
mean,
stuff.
I have to admit, we could have these like deep conversations with Graham. But he's had those experiences that I've
What,
had.
you've known him personally?
Yeah, I know him
You
personally. Did you not
talked
know
with
that?
him?
Well,
No,
Graham Hancock.
of course not. I didn't know. When you were talking, like, I didn't have an idea you knew him. Where do you know him from? If I may ask, of course.
No, I'll bring up here. I'm his gardener. Do you not know
Oh,
that,
you're
John?
freaking joking, man.
Look, it's a picture. It's a picture. Look, I've said it so many times on Alien. Look, it's a
Oh
picture of
my
me.
god.
Yeah, I know Graham Hancock. Yeah, I saw
Hasn't
him.
he ever asked you to bring him in or something?
I will do at some point. He's busy writing a new book. It's a photograph, mate, of me and him at the bottom there. Bring it up. Yeah, not
Oh, is
joking.
it in? Is it on the thing?
Yeah, it's there now. Look.
Wait, let me get it.
Yeah, I couldn't
Look,
believe
I
it.
think I think I've heard that before. I think I've heard that. Awesome,
Yes.
brother.
So
So you're
what
like a
happened?
professional gardener
Yeah, I'm a gardener by trade. Yeah,
as a
I'm a
professional, a profession, right?
yeah. It's my job. Is what I do. So
Wow,
basically,
beautiful, man. That's like my job because of my garden, because of my house has a lot of trees, so
yeah,
I do a lot of gardening as well. But I cut the grass, and I have like a 4 meter pole with a cutter at the end to cut the
yeah.
branches. I got
Sure,
an
sure.
electric saw to cut the bigger trunks for the
Yeah.
winter, stuff like that. But that as
So
much as I do.
yeah. I
Awesome,
mean,
brother. So you
I've
talk
been
with
doing.
them a lot.
I talked to his wife, Santha. Basically, what happened during the first lockdown in England? Um, this lady called me and she goes, "Oh, we've got this property. Could you come and do the garden?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem." Because at the time, all the gardeners stopped working, and I took their job. Basically, I
Because
was
they were
working.
afraid, right?
They're afraid, so I was like solidly like booked out, like unbelievably. It was an amazing time. I have to admit, I was earning a lot of money back then. Um, and she said, "Oh, come over to our place, and we'll give you the money for what you've done for the day's work." I was like, "Okay, no problem." So I got to the place, and who opens the door? Graham Hancock. I was like, "You're Graham Hancock, aren't you?" And I could not believe it, because everyone loves to have an interview with him and all that. But Graham, he's busy at the moment. He's been away. He's writing a new
Writing the
book at the
book,
moment.
right?
He's writing a book, so I saw him briefly. It looks quite well, actually, because the last time I saw him, it was a bit depressed because everyone was giving him a lot of slur names on the media and all that when Asian Apocalypse came out. And I remember him when he was going off to do the series and all that. But yeah, I know the man himself. It's mostly me and his wife I speak to, but he pops up and gives me a hug and have a little conversation and all that. But we have the
He's
same views.
promised you an interview.
He's probably said once I get my show up, and I'm talking about a new channel up, I will have him on the show, because. But yeah, I did this. I bet I know the man himself. There we go. That was taken a couple of years ago, so I've lost weight and look a bit more fitter than I am now, as you can see. Proofs in the pudding. But yeah, I'm looking to get him on the show at some
Yeah, man,
point.
get him on Alien Addict. I think, or
Yeah,
you look, you can start doing interviews. No, actually, you're pretty good. You're doing good on the interviews on Alien Addict and the sky watching on the other channel.
yeah. I mean, to
That's
be honest
pretty
with
good.
you, the Cosmic Twilight channel, it's a second hobby of mine, the trails in the sky. Not going to say the word, but I also apply like to 50-50 scenarios. I just find it interesting because it's an easy conspiracy to get into. But that has been, I mean, if you
Sky
get 7 views,
Trails.
yeah, Sky Trails, one would say. But in terms when you get 7 views in like 2 weeks, it goes to show that the shadow banning is quite hard, or quite different. Well, prolific on my channel anyway. So Alien Addict, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking to go twice a week.
YouTube is not easy to grow. I
It's not
do. I'm part of a big Skywatch community,
okay.
which uh, Gate Smasher, he's part of
Okay.
Experimental Elemental, Carlos. Um, Elder Medicine is my beautiful sister from California. She's a Elder Medicine Bear Claw. She's like an ancient indigenous elder
Oh, right. Interesting. Awesome.
in California, and she's a beautiful sister. Actually,
Beautiful.
I've won. Okay, let me get it very quickly. 1 second. I have a medicine bag from her, and I'm going to show you. 1 second.
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead, John. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that side I always find quite interesting because I've been watching the X Files a lot recently, and it seems to be in terms of the extraterrestrial realm. I know this is the X Files we're talking about, but it has a lot of the indigenous Indian culture and tribe back in the day, which is, I mean, they were talking
The
about
star
aliens and
people.
UFOs. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So what's that you got around your neck? What's this?
This is it's called a medicine bag, and it's made of skin,
Oh,
and
leather. Right. Okay.
inside leather, and
Yeah.
inside there is some some bushes, some spices,
Okay.
all from the woods, and Mama Bear Claw makes them. And
Amazing.
this here is, if you are a researcher and you do a lot of hikes in the forest, Nick,
Yeah.
and you do believe in Bigfoot, okay, because this is partly to who believes in it. This is Mama Bear prays on it, like
Okay.
she makes prayers,
Yeah.
and it protects you from the beings from the forest, including the star people. Because the theory that aliens have been found in the woods, you know that?
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, sure, sure.
Do you know the alien Vegas?
Reminds me,
Do
it
you
sounds
believe on
familiar.
the alien Vegas aliens?
Oh, the port when they come out the portal.
That case with the Mexican family
Oh,
that
right,
caught the
yeah.
no, that's the Miami aliens.
That's
I'm
right, John.
talking
Yeah, you're
about
right.
the Las Vegas,
Oh, when it was in
the
the back
one that they
garden.
say it landed, and there were two creatures, and you can see some on the videos. You can see some translucid things moving.
Right, I see you were saying. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. I'm open mind to it for sure, for sure.
So I do have a channel. I don't know if you've heard. It's called Quirky Quirk Zone.
Okay.
Okay, so this guy, man, this guy, he's like an ex-cop, private investigator, but he goes very strong in those cases that most people uh, say it's not, it's fake, like the
Yeah.
Miami and the Vegas one, but
Yeah.
especially the Las Vegas, he's been going like crazy on it. And look, man, he kind of changed my mind in a way because I thought it wasn't real, but
Yeah.
I found out that the government is is paid that family to shut up,
Oh,
so the
really?
story would finish there. That's my take on the story. That the guy, because the guy is an ex-cop, private investigator and stuff. So his name is Quirk Zone,
Okay.
something like that. Either way, I'll send you the link afterwards.
Y- Yeah,
But
please do. Please
I'm
do.
I do have like Stephen Cambion, who does a lot of research, and he kind of he goes he's a little bit of the skeptical side,
Too
but he
skeptical.
does believe in aliens. Okay, he
Does
believes in
he?
the alien. Yeah, but how can I say, look, when you work against 98% of the community,
Yeah.
your mind is gonna be 2% believer, you know what I mean?
Sure. Sure.
So maybe he's a little bit more skeptical than usual, but he, I talk with him, and I go to his channel sometimes, and I give him some tips on some things that I find out and stuff. But when you have like a lot of evidence against, you don't look to the evidence for, and sometimes
Mm,
that happens with some people, and it doesn't mean in all the cases, but it, like I told you, it demoralizes you and frustrates you and makes you an unbeliever, you know what I mean?
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think the government wants you to, they want you to work on that realm, that there's a lot of fakery. They don't want to give you the real good cases. And where'd you get those real good cases, Nick? On those old magazines. You know why?
That's perfect.
Because on those magazines, because they were released, they're there forever. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
So even you may have a little bit of fakery, but you're going to have many accounts which, even if it's a trust me dude, it's like commander of ships telling you a story. So it lends a little bit of credence, right? It's like a military whistleblower in a way, but civilian. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I understand what
that's
you're
the
saying, man.
people I want. That's the people I'm looking for. It's people like you, like me, older people as well, who have
Mm,
seen things, because usually the older people see more than us. They had,
sure.
because they lived more.
Yeah. I mean, Stephen Cambion, I mean, I have to admit, he's a prolific content creator. He does the research.
Yeah,
I
you've
mean,
got a good
I just,
team.
he's got, yeah, for sure, for sure. And in one way, he comes across more skeptical now. It's
Yeah,
like, does he truly believe in all that? But there's still that piece in the back of my mind go, no, there's something to this. But I think we are cluttered with so much nonsense, and it's shifting through that, and obviously observant of that, and being aware of that. That's the main thing. And I don't think a lot of people, we deal with people that's new to the community. And it's great that people are getting into UFOs. It's great that people are doing more sky watching, but just be prepared to be let down on a lot of stuff. But
yeah.
this is like with people like me, I need to go through old publications and say,
We
right,
are
okay, what was
science people,
this is
right?
it. Yeah, this is it. And you made a really good point that the fact the internet, the government can take anything off with it, even like UFOs and all that. So I'm preserving ufology history with my magazines and books and all that. So, and I get a great love out of not like an obsession over books or anything like that. But I just enjoy reading. I love doing old school research. I just think it's good to read a book instead of just sit behind like a monitor screen or your phone using Chat GPT, which I'm guilty. Sometimes I do when I'm stuck on something. I'm like, just give me a link for something for this bit, you know. But all in all, I do a lot of research with magazines, books, old style books, vintage books, and that's where I get my love for ufology from. But
Look, I have loads of books from my grandfather. You know the Russian dude, uh, not Romanov, who wrote the science books.
oh, not too sure, mate. Not too sure.
The book, one of them is called, I think he may be called Ivanov. I'm not sure. Either way, I've got books from that guy who was in a wheelchair, um, who died in a disease. Oh my God,
What famous
who
guy?
talked in a voice
Oh,
machine.
Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah, I've got books from him. I've got books from that guy who is already died. Scientific people, a lot of scientific people. My grandfather, he loved space and the atom and the molecule.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, I kept many of his books. As well, I found out that my grandfather, he worked with with books, like older books. He had a bookstore, so
Oh,
he had a lot of
awesome.
science books and things like that. He played piano and drums. He was in a big band called the Jukes. He was playing all over Europe.
Awesome. Awesome.
So he had like a good life.
Did you say he was?
But
Did you say he was a drummer?
he was a drummer for the band. The band was called Os Duques,
All right. All
and
right.
they sang in Spanish and in English, because they wanted the English public, the South African, Turkish, a lot of English traveled all through Africa, and he
Yeah.
he was he was there with the band.
Amazing. Well,
He's from the South.
I studied drumming. While I was
You
actually a
studied
drummer.
drums for real?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
brother!
yeah, yeah. Back in the day, yeah. So we've got a bit of common, haven't we? You and your family and all
Did
that
you have
the
a
weird stuff.
band?
We did back in the day. Yeah, haven't been a band in a number of years, but yeah, you can find it on YouTube if you want to. I can put the link up here if you want. I'll
Yeah, of
put a link in the
course, man,
description.
of course.
Yeah, so we were basically like a heavy metal band, a bit like Rage Against the Machine, Limp Bizkit. I guess
Oh,
we're
I saw Rage once in the
yeah.
Capitol in a festival.
Oh God.
Big
But
mosh, man. Crazy mosh.
yeah, back in the day. Look, I'm going to put the link in the description. This was my old band. I left because the lead singer was a bit of lead singers are notoriously known for being arrogant and
Yeah,
misogynistic.
I
So
know, I
yeah.
know.
But yeah, link is in the description right there.
But
Yeah.
were you like playing in festivals already, or?
Yeah, we played Poland and Europe back in the day. We
Wow,
released
brother.
an album. Yeah, it was like proper professionals. This is like 2010 to like 2016 and all that. So yeah, it was
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah,
I have some good friends here in Portugal, who played sang in English, but here in Portugal, it's not very easy to develop. And then they started having kids, and they had to stop the bands.
as you do. Once the kids gets involved, that's it. It kind of like even like marriages as well. But once kids gets involved, it kind of like it's like I've got to take a step back now. More important things to do in life than getting drunk and playing, cover songs and everything. Yeah.
My brother Gigi Show, he's from a 90s band of like I told you, a punk band in America, and he opened for he told Three Doors Down, and I think he once played in a festival that there were the guy from Nirvana, the drummer from Nirvana, Chris Roll, uh, Foo Fighters.
Oh, Foo Fighters. Oh, right. Yeah, Jeff Grohl, isn't it? I think his name.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Jeff Grohl. So
Awesome.
uh,
Sweet.
uh, it's I do really enjoy, like, for me it's a bit unreal how I met you guys. Like, it's weird how some things, because I knew Lee and Ollie, but the channel had a lot of people sometimes.
Mm.
But I never really got a wrench there. I talked a lot. I heard a lot. I'm more of a listener than taking part of. But when you took the channel and you were talking to everyone, and like you were answering my messages, like my comments, and I was like, "What? He's answering my comment?" Like, okay, so I'll just tell him what I do and stuff, and that's how I started telling you. And actually, it was when you told me, like, John P, I watched you the church in Algarve or something
Yeah,
when I was in
yeah,
holidays, and I was like, what? This
yeah.
guy saw my video, and I'm, what is this guy watching my videos for? And your humility, I was like, it struck me, and I was like, damn, Nick, I may have a chance with him.
Oh, bless you, John. Oh,
So
I'm
I'd
very.
say, okay, like, if you want to, because Nick, I haven't done a show like half a year, maybe more.
Mm,
And like I tell you, I have very good eyes on you because you're the host of Alien Addict. But I do know you're a very humble person. But
oh, thank
at the
you.
same time, you are a very lived person. Like, you had a band and you worked music. My kids, they are playing piano. Like, my kid is 7 and my daughter is 5, and they're both on piano. And I want them. I played 1 year of violin
Mm,
when I was in Form 10, 2 years of violin actually.
yeah.
But it was hurting my neck, so I didn't go very very deeply.
Mm.
I do love gardening like you. My wife has some plants growing up. Like, I can show you very quickly over there.
That's a nice
Actually,
garden, John. Look at
they
that.
need power. They need watering. And she has some on vases. Do you also grow stuff?
I do. I grow a lot of veg. Grow my melons in my greenhouse. I just enjoy gardening.
Awesome.
I like to see things from a seed grow into something absolutely huge. It's a good pleasure out of it. I do it. I
Yeah.
just enjoy nature really. So if I'm not researching in the summer, I'm mostly outside. Sort of gardening and just
Awesome.
appreciate the sunshine. I like the sunshine and sky watching when you get the opportunities when it's clear. I like it. Yeah. Uh, honestly, even though John, you see me triggered sometimes on Alien Addict and all that, but I'm generally quite a chilled person. I try not to get in trouble. Just I don't want to make any enemies and just want to do my own thing,
Yeah, yeah,
And
me too, man. Me too. Look, I kind of run away from drama
yes, perfect. That's what
because
you need to do.
drama keeps people away from each other. It takes views away. People say it gives views, but I'm not really that, because it kind of shoves people away. There's
Yeah,
always someone who's angry with you for still being a friend of someone else, you know.
very political.
And
Yeah,
I don't like that, because how can you grow if you're getting grudges with people who are on each other's communities, and
yeah.
that's not a good way to go,
No, I
in on
understand, brother.
ufology or any other community.
Oh, absolutely. This is it. It's because everyone is very on edge. Everyone seems to be very spiteful. It says, "Oh, it's very political. Everyone's very divided, basically." And I think for me, I don't want to get involved with that. It might attract um the people for the wrong reasons in terms of they
Yeah, like the
literally
more
want it.
hardcore people, the extremes. I
Yeah,
try to keep away from both right and left extremes. I'm not politician really. I
yeah,
just One thing I do like is I don't like to see the same guys in the power all the time. So I like the power to be changed
yeah.
every time it's possible.
Sure, sure.
Why? So everybody's happy,
Hmm.
even the older and the not as older. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is it. I mean,
Because people live
but
in pensions, and those people need more the left. And I do care for those, but
mhm.
there's the people who are already better established, who just want to maintain and maybe grow. And it's just a balance, you know. It's like it's hard, right? That's
Oh,
why
that's
I
definitely.
never say no to anyone. And I want to help everybody who just stops by, says hello. I like to okay, Mama Bear, I think we you may have one today.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
talking about
Yeah.
you, Nick.
Yeah, of course, of course. This is YouTube. YouTube stick, like you were saying, John. They only stick down one avenue. Anything alternative, I've noticed with my Cosmic Twilight channel, even with Alien Addict, you just lose subscribers like that for some odd reason. I don't understand why. Um,
Yeah, look, I don't understand. You should. One thing is true, Nick. M- uh, if you want, I'll start doing that. I'm gonna start posting your channel. Actually, let's do like this. Let's ask ask everybody on your channel, like the mods, the main ones like Sophia, you know,
yeah,
Sheepop, to post your Twilight, the Cosmic Twilight link
yeah,
at the beginning, at the middle, at the end. And if everybody posts like your link, maybe like 5 times each. If we're like 5 times, if we're 5 people, it's 25 times. And we will catch the people from the beginning, from the middle, and from the end. And it's important for you to uh, talk about your Cosmic Twilight regularly,
yeah,
um, about what you do, the sky watching and stuff.
yeah. This is it.
What about your music? Did you post your music?
No, not anymore, mate. To be honest with you, it's been a long time, to be honest, and we're all out of date. We haven't played or spoke to each other in years, to be honest. I mean, I'm looking to get back in music, but I'm enjoying like doing research because when I do research for shows, mate, it's not like I'll just spend that day doing it. You got to find these content throughout the day. My whole life is UFOs and aliens, like every single day. I can't escape it, you know, it's because you got to find content, and I'm happy with that. And when my consciousness says, right, let's take up music again. We'll take up music again. But this is my music, you know. I like research, you know, even if it might be fake, I don't really care because I still find it interesting. I still find entertainment out of it. I still find an interest for sure. You know, there's something to it. There's something to it. So
Look,
yeah,
there
we'll see.
is evidence, Nick, from universities. I've heard, you know, the angel hair
Yes, I've heard them. Yeah.
that's released from the UFOs.
Hmm.
There has been universities that a guy with a test tube caught the angel hair and put it inside and was able to store it until he got to the lab and he was able to test it. So I have it on a book that I've let me get the book. You probably have this book already.
I'm interested to see.
It's called UFO Phenomenon, something like that.
Let's have a little look. Yeah, the angel hair theory. That's interesting. That's
Ah,
definitely one aspect I haven't really looked into.
okay, so this is
Let's have
one
a
of
look.
my books.
Oh, that's nice. That's an
The
oldie, isn't it?
Mystery
Oh, I've
of
seen
the
that one.
UFO from R. Jack Perrin.
Ah, okay.
And so on this book, he talks about a lot of you know, Adamski, all of the main cases, but he goes about the evidence and things like that. So there is evidence, but remember that evidence stays with the university. Probably they only have the results now because the rest is already done. But you
Yeah.
know, you can see the reports and stuff. So you know, it's something. It's better than nothing. You know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Send me the name of that book. It looks quite interesting, actually. I love the cover
Okay,
of that.
so the book is called uh, "The Mystery of the UFO" from R. Jack Perrin with Two R's.
Oh, I got it here. Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant.
Fantastic Contacts Extraterrestrial. I have another book, which I'll get you. Look, I'll get you straight away, so we don't have to do this again.
Yeah, that's all
Next
right.
time I'll
Yeah.
get you. I don't know if you know, but I want to get hidden next. Not next straight away, but next on the planning for the next, because life is always rolling, and he's a busy man, and I do have my health problems sometimes and stuff.
Sure.
So okay, so I've got this one here, which is Discovering of UFOs. It's quite good as well.
Okay. Sweet.
uh,
Look at that.
Jack Scorno and Christian Piens.
Okay. Sweet.
Piens. So that's a nice one. And it has this image here at the end. You might know this UFO
I've
before.
seen that before. Yeah. Awesome.
So this is my collection. It's much shorter than yours. It's only 4 books. And then I've got this one here. Cost me $20. Fatima and the Prophecies of Nostradamus. So I'm
Uh,
halfway. And this one here is about Fatima, and that I'm explaining that case, and I'm pretty sure it was a saucer, and the lady is kind of the lady. Either Bledsoe is had really that contact, because these contacts with the lady, we call it the Mary Ann contacts.
okay.
And how do you say, Nick? There is a story actually that say that Fatima's story, the phenomenon, is linked to the 420.
Is it? I don't know. That's new to me, mate. Really?
Why? There was a guy I heard on a documentary. He was talking about the planting of cannabis in Portugal and making all the different products and sending them away, because it's illegal, but you can plant it under the pharmacy law and send it all to the exterior, but it has
Right.
to be less than 0.3% of THC. So
That's nothing.
it's kind of the CBD thing. It's not good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, these are the letters of Sister Lucy. So this girl here, when she was younger, she was one of the mediums of Fatima, and she was the only one that could talk with the lady. Her other
Right.
sister, she could, her sister could only see her, and her brother could, who could only see him as well, her as well. And they
Right.
say that Fatima was one of the, I don't know if you know, but Portugal, the Iberic Peninsula, was conquered by the Moors, so the
Okay.
Muslims. Before it was Portugal, it was Muslim land, okay?
Hmm.
And then the Spanish gave this land to Portugal, and then the king had to fight the Moors away. So it was kind of you know, fighting for your kingdom in a way.
Yeah.
And they say that the Mary Ann phenomenon is a little bit of the, how can I say, the energy from that land that was adored by a cult that planted cannabis on
Oh,
that
right.
area in Fatima. Okay,
Okay.
so there's those people who say that, but I went to that when the guy was talking about the planting, and I said, "What about the 10 to 20,000 people who were there, and reporters, priests, engineers, doctors, who went on that date in October of 1912, already warned since January by a collective of mediums. They were already saying that in October something was going to happen.
Mm.
So actually, the Fatima started in August, September, October. I think it started even before. It started like in June or May. So there was like 6 months that every month at the 20th or something, there would be apparitions over the trees seen by children and other people. But
Right.
then they started gathering the attention of the parents, the priests, and that's when people started gathering there. The cult that predicted that something was going to happen.
Mm.
People from all over the world and the country were called to go there, just like Bledsoe says that in 2026 in Easter, there's going to be a big
Ev-
UFO
Event.
sighting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Well, that's interesting, to be honest with you. I mean,
But,
I haven't really.
this was on the 1900s. Bledsoe is future. So you can see that there's going to be much more people at the Bledsoe. But let's take attention on that. After it happens, we'll judge. But, I am afraid that something big may happen, really, or get,
Mm.
people will try to fake it, or even if it's not fake, if it's real, I'm afraid of that. I'm a little bit of, you know, not
Yeah.
fearful, but how can you say it?
Well, you're a bit wary of what's going on, basically.
Weary, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, I don't think nothing's going to happen because
The
I looked through.
rapture,
That has been a
people
lot recent.
disappearing. That's weird.
I have to admit, social media does play a lot on whatever's trending, basically. I have seen a lot this year of the rapture, fake alien invasion, something big is going to happen. Mate, I've been hearing that all my life. I'm not joking. 35 years I've been there. Like back into. I remember there's something that happened in the 90s. They had the Millennium Bug. The lead up to 2012. Mate, we've been all bit. We're going
The
through
wow
what I.
signal.
Yeah, exactly. We are going through what's called the 2012 effect. And the 2027, what you're talking about, that the
2012. That's when my friends saw the UFO.
oh 2000, yeah, that was an interesting year. That was an interesting year. The lead up to December the 21st, 2012.
I
So we
have
kind of
another
go.
case from a friend from 2012, but this one was a fleet.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah, I can tell you another time.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've been hearing a lot of that recently. Of something big is going to happen, and to be honest with you, from my experience, I don't think nothing's going to happen. I think we're still going to be here, paying our taxes, trying to live a living, and all that. I just find at the moment with the hype of that topics uh, is quite prevalent in UFO community, alternative movement, truth movement, and look, whatever gets clicks and likes, isn't it? Really, when you look at it, that I'm not saying that is the case, but I would say at least that plays a massive part of it. We need to find content to show. But listen, guys, we'll still be here in the next 100 years. Well, we won't be. We're going to be dead, but we ain't going to live over 100. You know what I mean? So we'll still be
Make
here,
the
but
best
never.
out of it.
Exactly, John. Make the best out of it. If something does happen in 2027, if you believe that, then make the most of it. But for me, I'm just going to live life every single day, try to be positive and try and cut out all the nonsense and stuff like that. But at the same time, have a more critical view. But at the same time, I'm a believer, but I have a more um I won't say, I keep saying skeptic, John. It's not. It's more a critical thinker. I look 50-50 and make my own conclusions. But
Me
yeah, just live
too.
life
Me
to the
too.
full.
Look, that's the way to go. We At the beginning we see a lot of stuff and we say, "Freaking out, this is true." But then
Yeah.
when we caught up with the lies, we're like, "Okay, so it's really 5%." And then we kind of try to live our YouTube life on that 5%,
Yeah.
right? Trying
Sure.
to find out what it's not, what it is, and what it's not. And because we cannot do nothing else. Look, the people from the observatories, they've got a lot of proof, man, from the 50s, 40s, you know, and some may be hidden, but you go
Mm.
to the newspaper, and there's always a little part that says they found something on this observatory. They don't know what it is. Blah 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 blah. You know,
Mm.
and you're always gonna have that. You know, you're always gonna have the big experienced people who have like crazy stories.
Yeah. Oh, you're still going to get that. You know, it's
Hard
that's
to believe.
yeah. This is it. It's not going to be dismissive of every single experience somebody has gone through. You know, even like when it comes to abductions and orbs in the sky and stuff like that, or that sort of close encounters of the third kind, so to speak. So yeah, you say you're battling with that 5%, isn't it? That 5%. You know, no, it's not a lot, but it's still what gets me and you involved and the other people that tune in involved. You know, it's a very big
Yeah,
small percentage, but nevertheless, just let's look into it. Let's make our own conclusion. You know, it might not be the conclusion we want, but nevertheless, we can at least learn from it. You know, that's the main thing. Yeah.
beautiful, Nick. Nick, what did you think? 2 hours? That's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah,
You have anything else to say? Any story you want to finish before you tell your
uh,
details of your channel?
uh, no, I just want to say thank you, Joel, for letting me finally have a conversation with you. We're gonna have many, many more of these because there's one thing I've noticed, and this is the only thing that when I started doing podcasts years ago, when I first got on with Alien Alex with Ollie Lee and Dave, and we had Matt there as well, is keeping the conversation going. And this is what I always found why I don't really have guests on the show, which I should do on Alien Addict, because now I'm at the point now it's like, oh god, we don't need a topic. We could just we do could do, but we can just talk. And now I've got comfortable doing that. So it's like we don't talk about other sort of subjects as well, but it's keeping that conversation going. It's like, oh, I can actually do it this time. You know, I don't have to worry about, because there's always worrying about the person, how you're going to get a response back to them, because it could be like a very short sentence, can't really go into detail. But with me and you, we're on the same wavelength, brother. We're like brothers, man. It's just we could just
Yeah,
you know
we have had some cases, but I haven't had like that crazy. I've seen like maybe 10 of these stars. I've seen like a
yeah
craft when I was traveling with my family, like a seagull, like that, like reflecting the sun, and it had
yeah
like a little square on the side, like a little string and a square on the side, grayish square. Nothing was on the camera. So I've had some. I had one when I was like 16. This was my main one, I think. Like we were at the beach. We were like drinking and smoking. We were pretty drunk. One of the girls who was with us, she started vomiting. She wasn't feeling very well. I'm not sure if she was, one of those days, and she maybe shouldn't have drank because she was one of those days. But either way,
yeah.
everybody was so drunk and high that I had like a laughter attack. I
Right.
couldn't stop laughing. It was crazy,
I've been
man.
there.
It was
Yeah, I've been
because of
there.
the drunk and high.
Sure. Yeah.
I almost and suddenly, man, I looked to the horizon and I saw like it was like this shape. It was like a arrow shaped white, but it was leaving sparkles from the beginning and the end, okay? Down
Wow.
and up. So it was traveling towards the arrow side, okay? It was going from the sea on. There were some clouds on top of the city and going inside the city on the sky. Nick, it was freaking huge, man. It looked like maybe like 3 or 4 times an airplane because it was
Wow.
quite far away.
Mm.
I almost thought it was like a meteorite, but it was in the form of an arrow, and it was perfect, leaving sparkles. I even talked to my friends, look at that, what is that? And then we never talked about it after that because the girl was vomiting. People, we were worried and stuff. I was laughing. Then I saw the UFO. I got home and I looked at the TV to see if I could find anything, a channel that had like astronomy. Nothing. They didn't talk about anything. I even thought it was an airplane in flames, but I don't think it was. Um, it was like that. I never talked about it. Then I watched the X Files, the movies, and the Contacts and ET and
Yeah.
whatever. Then my friend had the Contact 2012. He told me I wasn't much into it yet, but then like when I started channel some years ago, doing the interviews, I said, "Look, I'm gonna start with my friend," and that's what I did. First, he was Portuguese, and I translated, and then he talked about it. And then I talked with some other people. I had the parents of some friends in Mozambique. You
Yeah.
know, Mozambique, the 70s.
Hmm.
It was like it gets dark at 5 o'clock in the summer because it's like right at the equator. They were like dating in the beach, and they saw coming from the horizon on one side an orange sun. It was dark, the sun has set, an orange craft, no noise on the horizon. They stopped in front of them in the horizon, the orange big craft.
Yeah.
They say it's a craft because it was very big, It could be an orb, but it was like more or less like this.
Yeah.
They stopped like kissing and stuff, and they looked at it, and then it went back from where it came from, like
Nice.
that. Look at
Awesome.
the craziness, man.
Yeah.
In the
It's
middle of the sea in Mozambique, where there's like, there's nothing, I don't know.
incredible story. That's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
That same family has seen, like, they were both walking, and the wife saw like a golden rod tumbling in the sky, and her husband, the same object, he saw a tumbling cube. So the
Ah.
same object, she saw a tumbling rod, he saw the tumbling cube, golden as well.
Really? It's two different things. Amazing. All
and
right.
and their son, he's a very good friend of mine. His parents live near a cemetery,
Yeah.
and my friend, on two separate nights, on two weekends, he got home from the pub. I was with him in the pub drinking. We used to go there on Fridays. He got home. When he parked the car, he walked across the street to his house, at the time his parents, and he looks at the sky. He looks at the top of the road, and he saw like a gray person, but that gray person was like on all fours.
Mm.
Actually, the person was standing,
Mm.
and he saw the person, and then he tried mimicking, and he tried moving to the left, and the gray person would move to the left, and then he would move to right, the gray person would to right, and then after a while that person went on all fours and started walking on all fours towards him, and he ran to his house. That was the first night.
Wow.
Like after 1 week, we were at the pub again. On the next Friday, he was working and stuff. He he parked the car, and he said he was drunk again, and high because it was close to his house. He looks, and it's there again, and this time he leaves the car, and straight away this gray entity starts running on all fours towards him,
Mm.
and he told me it was maybe like, I don't know, maybe 500 meters, and it got like in right in front of him, and when it was gonna hit him, it deviated and it went on his side,
Okay.
because this time he wasn't gonna run from it. He wanted to know what it was. And
Mm.
his parents lived right in front of the cemetery. So
Mm.
there is some abnormal stories here. I do have some abnormal studies of like cards. You know the card game. You
Yeah.
ask the spirit name questions, and the cards give you the answers.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
The guy is asking if anyone from his family passed away, and he asks for the wind to turn the cards, and a breeze comes. It was near a cemetery in the south of Portugal. I was there having holidays, and the wind blows two cards, and there was like a jack, a jack. So it was like telling it was like his brother or something.
Mm.
My friend says to her, "Oh, it was your brother," and then he would ask, and then there would be a queen after some numbers. So it was weird, man. It was weird.
Yeah. Oh, well, tell you what. The next time we're on, it'll be. We will do it sometime this month before Halloween. I'll show you the ghost photos I've got over the years. I've personally taken the EVPs and everything. I can go through everything for you, because that'll be a good show. Because I've got some pretty strange stuff. Like I'll show you all the orb photographs I've got, ghost apparitions. I've got some stuff, man, to show.
Nice,
Yeah. So we'll
nice
do that
one.
for we do that for the next show. We'll plan it all out. And yeah, because I've got some
Yeah, don't
paranormal
worry,
experiences.
brother. But are you gonna do on on your live, or have you done on Alien Addict already? Something like that.
Um, no, I have not. No. So the end
Okay.
of the month, me and Hidden Underbelly, which we go live every couple of Wednesdays, we're doing a Halloween show on the Wednesday, the last week of that of
Awesome.
October.
Can't
But
wait for that then.
Alien Addict falls on a Friday, which is the 31st. So I might do like a Halloween show for that. But we'll pop on beforehand, mate. We'll do a show beforehand and talk some
Okay,
paranormal stuff.
brother. Look, if you're busy, don't worry. I have a few interviews. I have a friend of mine that he's called the Orb dude, something like the
Okay.
Orb guy.
Hmm.
He's a friend of mine as well, and I met him at a channel that has nothing to do with that normal. I met him at a sister's. She does cakes, and she's got a few dogs, and it's like a more family orientated channel. And I
Yeah.
met him there, and the next day I got him on my brother Gigi's show. He explained his orb sighting. I did a clip and I put it on my channel. So it's on my channel.
Okay.
But my friend, the orb guy, he's also known as Bisay. He's a friend of mine and a supporter. I'll ask him to check you out because he didn't stop by today. He's probably working, but
That's cool.
I have his Discord. You don't have Discord, right?
No, it's kind of
No.
like,
You just
yeah.
have Twitter, right?
Yeah, just Twitter, the worst place have to be on. What hypocrite.
You never had Facebook, or you don't care really?
Nah, Facebook is more like personal stuff, really. If I gotta find content, I'll go on Facebook and all that. But nah, just Twitter, mate. That's
Yeah,
the
I know
X.
what you mean. Look, I had like a personal Facebook, and then I made a working Facebook because I sell antiques. You know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm an osteopath. I studied in England for osteopathy, but I'm also a antiques dealer, and I also restore stuff. So I like working with woods, with irons. I ask my friends who do the ironing and stuff. I don't do that.
Hmm.
But if I
Yeah.
have any ideas, I ask around and I pay for the works if I want to do creativity. But I love my gardening. I need to do gardening because I have a garden in my house. So I have to cut the lawn, every
Yeah.
month or weeks in the summer. and I cut the wood as well, so I have wood in the winter because I use like a fireplace, a fireplace with the glass.
Oh, that's nice. Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah, so I don't have to use the electrical because the electrical is very expensive
Hmm. Tell me about it.
nowadays. So
Yeah.
what I do is I keep good windows and things, but uh, we cut like a plum tree this year, and we're using it to for this winter in
Oh,
my
nice.
fireplace.
Awesome, mate. Yeah, great. Also have great pleasure of gardening. It's good. It's a great hobby. Yeah, and
Do
get.
you do like do you cut big trees with protections and stuff?
No, not really. No, I just go up there with a chainsaw. I'm like, right, here we go. It's as long as you cut it the right way. Just think about physics. You know how you cut a limb and all that. But yeah, I do a bit of like
You
tree
use ropes,
surgery.
right? When it's a big tree.
No, I just go up there. I just climb up. I literally be in the tree. But I
Yeah.
know when I've been doing a garden for so long, I know when I'm in trouble or I don't feel safe. I'll be like, right, okay, let's. But I
Yeah,
rarely cut
because
trees.
look, this tree we had was 100 years old. We couldn't
Wow.
hug it. We needed maybe two people to hug it, and it was like 25, 30 meters, and it started getting fungus,
Mm.
and it stopped growing. It stopped growing plums after we had the Asian bee growing there.
Oh, really? Ah, that's
So
not
we
good
had an
then.
Asian bee hive
Yeah.
basketball. They came and burned it down, but by then the bees had already transmitted the fungus to the tree,
Oh
or
no.
it came from other root systems because we have a cherry tree without the cherries, only the leaves.
Yeah.
And I've been cutting it as well because actually I've done a video, you must have watched it a while ago, where it was hard, man. I've spent maybe like 2 months every weekend cutting it because each time I went there, I would have a neck ache, and my cutter, I would have to cut it a little bit here, a little bit there. And then after, because I only worked on the weekends and during the week I would rest because I have other stuff I have to do during the week. So on the
Yeah.
weekend I would cut the tree. And I tell you, I got some good cherry tree firewood, brother, for the
Yeah, it's good
winter.
stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's because we got fungi infection here because we got big trees that are like 400 years old that I can't touch, like can't touch it, but it's got fungi infection. But yeah, I understand, mate. Sometimes you got to make that sacrifice. Like, oh, I don't
But
want
you
this
have to
spreading.
kill them sometimes because they're
You just
not
have to get rid of it.
gonna.
Yeah, because it's going to spread to other trees and all that. So we've got something called honey fungus and ash dieback, which is the two combinations that just annihilates trees in this place. I mean, I live in
They go to the roots as well, right?
it goes through the roots. It could be airborne. It's a multitude of things. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I live in a village. Not going to say where I live, but I'm surrounded by trees. I get no signal, literally
Yeah,
nothing at
me
all. No,
too.
it's a beautiful. You get nice natural headspace, but
What
you
you
start
mean
to
no
notice tree.
signal? Like a phone signal?
Yep, no faux signal. The only signal I can get is through a Wi-Fi. Like I'm that because we've got so many trees around us, like massive amounts of trees. It blocks the
Wow,
signal out.
wow.
So
Oh,
I
we have
guess it's
a cell phone post not very far away.
yeah, it's it's where we live in the village. We don't really sort of have that sort of stuff, but it's you get some natural headspace here. But you start to notice the trees are start to die back and be like, oh, that's not good. I have to cut that at some point. So I understand, brother. But
Beautiful. I
yeah,
love the countryside, man. I live like 9 kilometers from the sea, and as you go towards the sea, it starts becoming like a lot of small houses.
yeah,
Like almost city, but not like big buildings, but a lot of small houses. And then you have the cities near the coast. But then I
yeah.
have a city like 5 kilometers, Gaia City, and then 15 kilometers. It's the second biggest city in the Portugal, Porto City.
Nice,
But
nice.
it's still a village where I live. But I tell you, man, people are doing buildings all over the national street that goes from north to south.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like in the city, it's already a little bit like England, you know. It's like a lot of multicultural, a lot of Asians. It's um,
Mm.
it's a
It's
lot of
very diverse.
mafia. Here
Mm.
where I live, there's still not a lot. It's more of the countryside, a little bit cheaper,
Yeah.
not as expensive as the city, you know. But the city is really expensive, like near the river, where there was that friend of mine UFO sighting.
Yeah.
Like he lives near the court, you know, like the court in the city, you know, like really a lot
Yeah.
of people. And he told me that he thinks that the UFOs were scanning the ground. That's the opinion. He says, "Oh, there's a lot of people here living here, a lot of houses and buildings." So he kind of thought that they were kind of scanning the buildings. So, you know,
Right.
I do have that, you know, that suspicion that they can see you through the walls, you know. I do have that impression.
Mm. I wouldn't be surprised, mate.
Nick, do you, when you close your eyes, like when you go to bed, you close your eyes and for some reason you open them quickly, do you see the little flashes of light sometimes?
No, not really, mate. No, I don't. I'm a crap sleeper anyway, so I struggle
I
sleeping.
never knew if that's like something from the eyes or if it's like some connection with the other side, with the
Mm.
orbs or something. Because sometimes I go to bed and I close my eyes and and for some reason I open it. When I open it, I do see like one or two orbs, but then they really quickly disappear.
Okay.
And I do like to go to bed with a little presence light on, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wally's here. Love you, brother Wally.
Hi, Wally.
Wally's
How's it
one
going,
of
mate?
that friends that I told you that we left Goof on.
Oh, right.
Me,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wally, and Gigi show.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people who kind of left for this or for that, and we we kind of we Wally does have a big UFO sighting as well in America. He also had a lot of problems with yeah, we've done a show with Wally as well, but we probably need to do another one because I think it was, I don't think we went very deep on it. Wally had a lot of problems with people. They wanted to get him institutionalized
Mm.
because of his experience, his sighting,
Right. Okay.
because he was younger, when he was younger.
Um, Sorry to hear that, Wally.
So
That's
yeah, it
terrible.
was. There are some not as good cases, you know what I mean.
No, I understand, mate. I
But
understand.
he's a
But
beautiful soul. He's a part of the family, kind of.
oh,
He
that's awesome,
collects
man.
trains,
Oh,
old
right.
trains.
Oh, right. Like me, I love my steam trains. Yeah, I love my
Yeah, so you're
locomotives, as
gonna
you would
love
say.
his channel as well.
All right,
Check
awesome.
him out.
I'll check out Wally's World
He
420.
has a
Hey,
big
420.
Lego collection.
Nice.
I
Awesome.
even made a music for him. It's like he stepped on a Lego.
Oh, dear. Well, that's
Either
hilarious.
way, brother, I know you want to go. You want to go. You have stuff to do. So leave your details about your channel and the hosting channel as well,
Yeah,
and
no
the
problem.
Rumble.
Absolutely. So, first things first, you can follow me on Alien Addicts every Friday at 9 o'clock UK time, where I talk all things UFOs and aliens. And you can also check out my other channel called the Cosmic Twilight. So there will be links in the description, and which where I talk about the sky trials, as one would say. And also, I have another channel on Rumble called Investigate with Nick 89, I believe, or just Investigate with Nick, where I upload just time lapse videos and a bit of everything really. So yeah, but yeah, you can find me on, like I said, Alien Addict, Cosmic Twilight, or Investigate with
The
Nick. But
Cosmic Twilight. Okay, guys, I have to say that because I did put Cosmic Twilight and I couldn't find you. So you have to put the
the
Cosmic Twilight, and it's the airplane leaving Godzilla's mouth.
that's it. That's the one, John. That's the one.
That's the
So
one
yeah,
right now because you had another one before, I remember.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, but it's a pleasure as always, John. Finally get to
Me
have a
too,
chance to
my
talk to you,
brother.
and
Really
we
good.
sure we
Thank you
we sure
very
we do it.
much.
We'll do it again another time, talking about the paranormal sort of stuff. So yeah, but thanks to everyone in chat.
Awesome.
Scary.
We'll go through the orbs next time, maybe a little bit more, and maybe more
Yeah.
UFO footage. Not UFO, some footage of some stuff you can show the ISS and things like that.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, absolutely. But pleasure as always, John. And thanks to everyone in chat. It's much appreciated.
Everybody, please connect with my brother Nick, the Cosmic Twilight, and on Fridays and soon as well on Tuesdays,
Mhm.
9:30 English time,
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Sorry.
I try. We're 4:20. It's fine.
Yeah, I usually arrive a bit late. Sorry.
It's fine, mate. Don't worry about that. It's all good. It's all good, brother.
Friday nights they're very busy because we have I have a lot of people and I have to have like two or three phones, but I always have one phone charged of battery to check you, Nick. And if I
Appreciate it.
miss
Thank you.
something at the end, I'll always go back and check the rest, brother.
Yeah, much appreciated, John. And thanks for your endurance of my ramblings I do on Alien Alex and all that. But otherwise, it's a
No,
pleasure as
brother. Look,
always.
I we're very similar in a lot of things. I don't have. I wish I had more patience to do sky watching.
Mm, that's
I,
good.
but I promise I've sold my infrared camera. I had a Bushnell's, but it was very weak camera,
Mhm.
infrared. Now I'm gonna save up for a psionics, or I'll probably we can talk on email, and you can tell me what you're using, because I've got a Sony power how is it call it power watch, no, power shot from
Right.
my
Okay.
wife, but it's not like a very good camera, but it's good for taking pictures. It has 4 AA batteries and stuff, but I would like to know maybe a good infrared, because I know it's gonna get expensive when we go to the cameras, right?
Too expensive. You're talking about thousands at this point, mate. If you want really good quality, which I want to do, like night vision and all that. I mean, John Florida
From
UFOs. He's got
Florida, yes, real
yeah.
UFOs.
He uses something that's like 200, 300 pounds you can get on eBay, which is the telescope he uses. So I might invest in that, mate. Something
Oh
that's
yes, I would
yeah.
like that camera. Look, I thought John had a, a scope like the Gemini that you cannot get it from America. They only sell it in America.
Oh, is it? Right. I'll probably do some further research into that, mate.
No,
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure, but oh, look who's here, Joa, my beautiful sister from Florida.
Oh, I see you, Joe. Nice to see
Joa,
you.
please check my brother Nick. He's got the Cosmic Twilight channel is on the description. Okay, so Nick is a really nice sister. She's a sky watcher, and
No.
Nick, she's got some beautiful music on her videos of
Okay.
Florida.
Nice.
She's like she's like our Skywatcher muse from Florida. Okay, so you can see she shows the skies. She drives a beautiful Vespa. We call it the Vespa Files, to go around Florida,
Right.
and
Nice.
she's just a beautiful soul and supporter. And the music is I think you're gonna love it because it's like that kind of music, always changing. Either way, she's a beautiful soul and supporter, and I think you would love her to be as well. Yours, Nick. One thing
Absolutely.
I do find on YouTube. Okay, it's okay. I have 8%. I'm gonna be quick. Okay, it's
That's
like
right.
this. So one of the ways that you can grow on YouTube is sensationalize, fake, blah. You don't have to fake to go get known. You just have to talk about like Atlas and all this and all that, because
Mm,
Atlas, up to date themes, they bring a lot of people. Okay,
it does.
there's a lot of BS as well on it. That's why I don't talk much, but I don't have enough investigation on it to talk about it. So I prefer not to make suppositions like AV Loeb and think, but he's good.
Yeah.
He's not a bad person, but he's sensationalization, and he needs to sell books, okay? And needs to go to interviews and make money out of that and stuff. So fair enough, right? But you can grow by getting into communities like fishing communities, pet communities, this and that. And I have time for that. People say I'm everywhere. So I'm not only on UFO channels, I'm on all sorts of communities. And that's how I get my little community of people. Many of them saw some things. I'm always asking them to watch the skies and tell me if they find something. So if you think about it, I'm seeding my friends with information, any friends, to look to the sky, and if they see something, they can tell me, and we can make a little interview. And that's how my interview started. And then I started meeting people who saw Bigfoot, heard Bigfoot, had experiences in the woods, saw UFOs, saw aliens, and things like that. But the people I've interviewed, they haven't seen aliens yet, okay?
Okay.
Only saucers, crafts. That's
Mm,
what I want. Bigfoot, uh, shadow people, and things. But the paranormal, when we go to the EVPs and the ghost machines, I don't go much into that because I don't want to attract them to me.
sure.
I think I will attract them if I go into that. So I prefer not to go into that. But
Yeah.
if I talk with you, it's cool, if you show me evidence and photos and stuff. But
Sure.
imagine me going to a haunted house alone for an investigation, investing on a ghost machine. No, no, because
Mm.
I believe in the power of the indigenous power. It smells
Yeah.
very good, and I like to
Nice.
keep away from. Look, I do respect our ancestors and the ghosts and everything, but it's like witchcraft. It exists. I'm not saying this. It is. It exists, but it stays away from me. It stays like around for me. So I use this a little bit to keep that away from my house and me as well. The bad energies. When you're walking on the woods
Yeah.
and suddenly it's happened to me, Nick. You're in the woods and somewhere you've been for a long time and you get lost.
Hmm.
And the only way you're gonna get back on track is you hear the highway, and the highway is close, but you need to use your senses because there's something messing with you, like
Yeah.
the ghosts, the fear, the
Yeah.
shadow people, all of that. And that's, I like to play a little bit with that. But when I go hiking and it's night, now I'm gonna start hiking at night because 6 o'clock, 5, it's already dark. And when it's dark, I take my medicine bag and a lot of light and stuff. But nothing ever happens to me. But sometimes I get lost,
Sure.
or I get shivers, you know.
Oh, it's a sense, mate. You sense it, and you got to protect yourself. I think sage is one
Yeah.
of the things that is
I've
definitely a
seen
protector.
once, like, me and my friend were in the woods, on these woods I was talking to you, and a huge branch falls from a tree very close by, and it was like a foggy day, no wind at all. There was fog, so there was weight of the leaves in the water, like boom, boom, boom. And we couldn't see anything. We went looking, but it was dark. There was full of wood on the ground. And then my friend was in shorts there in the same day, same night. And I looked to the ground, and just below his foot, because his foot was on top of the green leaves and stuff, but there was a leaf that was shining. And I said to him, "Look, that looks like one of those snakes or big snails. And
Mm.
look, when I go closer, it was a snake going in between his sneakers and the foliage, going to the big trunk of tree that was cut, where is a place where we put our drinks, like our beer,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the tree stump." And the snake was going inside the tree stump, and it was so crazy, man. So, I do have some stories of weird noises and things like that, but,
Sure. Sure.
I never seen anything. I see when I'm out with my friend, I see airplanes, I see the stars, and I see satellites, but I've never seen more than that, like,
Mm.
and it's
I mean,
only
it's
between like nine and 10 at night.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I've had some experiences that's absolutely crazy. But John, I've really got to shoot off. I've got to get in the shower and go for boot camp, mate. I'm really sorry for cutting it short,
Big
but
hugs to the family, Nick. Thank you very much. See you
thank
on
you,
the next
John.
one, my brother. I'm gonna put more music. You can go, okay, brother?
Okay, mate. Yeah. See people in chat. Thank you so much, and yeah, I'll catch you all soon. All right, and yeah, John, thank you so much, brother. I'll speak to you soon. All right.
Yeah, big hugs, my brother. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna put a music. You can go.
Okay, mate. Cheers, guys. See
Don
you
P
soon.
loves you, my brother.
Cheers, brother. See you soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Okay, so guys, we're just gonna put a music to say goodbye, okay? And let me see. Beautiful, guys. I hope you enjoyed. My brother Nick. Hope you check him out. She Pop, thank you very much for stopping by, my sister. Let me check this one. In the battlefield, you stand in the ground. You'll be the alien detectors coming around. Joa, thank you very much, my sister. Seeking answers profound. Unleash the fury, unleash detectors. John P. Thank you very much, my friends. I like to, when we do these talks, I like to tell my friends the experiences that my friends here has had, guys. Who gives us their opinions and who sways our opinions. So, guys, remember, the Cosmic Twilight and Alien Addict. That's an easy one to remember. Every Friday. Lazy Louds, good to see you. Thank you very much. Let me let me give you a rent. Beautiful, guys. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, guys. John P loves you, my people. Stay blessed. Oh, yes. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, guys. John P loves you, my people.